What's up, everybody? The Earth's a level topographical plane that's enclosed by the firmament. Provably so. What's up, man? Alright guys, as we get in, please hold your finger down the host box, repost the live and share out the live. Okay, what's up, everybody? What's up, The Real? Visick, what's up, man? Please guys, repost the live and share out the live. Spam the likes if you're getting in here, guys. If you're a flat earther, F1 in the chat. Thanks for the shares, Clyde. Yeah, guys, please hold your finger down the host box and repost the live, share it to live. If you're just getting in, spam the likes. Let's get the algos up. If you're a flat earther in here, guys, F1 in the chat. I'm looking for opposition, guys. So if you're a globe earth believer, if you believe the Earth's a spinning globe in outer space adjacent next to a vacuum, please come on up. Request up. Let me make it easier to request. It always seems to reset this. Okay guys, the Earth's a level topographical plane that's enclosed by the firmament. You're just getting in, please repost the live and share it the live to everybody. If you want to support my work, there's a link in my bio. Hopefully today we can actually get some opposition, because it's getting harder and harder, guys, to find opposition, because they all come in, they get flat smacked, and they never come back, ever. Why did I use AI, not a real picture of the Earth? Because I can't go outside the Earth to take a picture of it. Oh boy. If the globe, I could reverse that onto you. If the globe's real, why do they have to actually admit that they stitch it together with data that they get from satellites, which are in low Earth orbit, not in space? Okay guys, if you're a globe proponent and you have evidence for the globe and you want to render an argument as to how the Earth is a spinning globe in outer space, adjacent next to a vacuum, you want to render an argument against flat Earth, please comment up. Yeah, that is a real picture of the Earth. Prove it's fake, exactly. Yeah, prove it's fake, guys. There's a photo of it, right? So it must be real. It's photos from space. They're real, right? Prove it's fake. Yeah, the sun we see, in my opinion, would be within our enclosed system, yes. Whether or not it's coming from outside the system, I don't know. I need merchandise? Yeah, probably. A Welcome to Flat Earth t-shirt with my face on it. Going like this. They really thought they were going to beat my science, didn't they? Have you seen anyone at the edge? I don't believe the Earth has an edge to fall off, so that's a straw man. Nice job. The edge. The edge of the Earth I don't believe in. If the Earth's a spinning globe adjacent next to a vacuum and hurtling through space at 1.2 million miles, why haven't we fallen off? You know why no one's fell off the Earth? Because you don't typically fall off a stationary object, last I checked. Like, let's say you're standing on a surface that's stationary and it's 1 by 1 meter and you're standing there, right? You're not going to fall off because it's stationary. But if you do the same thing on a spinning ball, you'd fall off. So you're asking me why we don't fall off a stationary Earth that's enclosed when you believe that we're hurtling through space at 1 million miles an hour and not falling off the spinning ball. Congratulations. So yeah, guys, if you're in opposition to flat Earth, you think it's not flat and you think it's a spinning ball in outer space adjacent next to a vacuum, please come up and render an argument. People fall off flat stationary things all the time, really. So when you're walking to the store, do you fall off the sidewalk? Do you fall off? Yeah, that's hilarious, man. We're back to these straw mans again. People asking me about the edge of the Earth that I don't believe in. Yeah, have people also fallen off spinning merry-go-rounds and spinning balls that they stand on? Have they fallen off those too? Have people fallen off a curved log in water? People have fallen off that too, right? Can you fall off the edge of a lake? Have you ever fallen off the edge of a lake, guys? Have you ever fallen off that? Yeah, I don't believe in an edge. Why would I have an answer to something I don't believe in? The Earth is an enclosed system, guys. So yeah, your trolling comment that you just put in the comment section there, your phone, its orientation is in relation to XY coordinates, which is a 2D plane. You just proved flat Earth by typing on your iPhone or the phone you have. And if you were to come up and speak to me, the breath you take to speak came from a container, because gas pressure requires a container. You breathe air. You prove the firmament by talking to me. Okay, guys. If you're a Globe Earth believer in the chat, please come request up and let's have a debate. Let's render an argument as to how the Earth is a spinning globe adjacent next to a vacuum. They always come up and want to ask me a question about flat Earth that they don't believe in. Right, it's amazing. Why not just prove a globe? You don't need to ask me anything, just prove a globe. Yeah, if there's a live of a tooth fairy, would you go up there and ask him questions about the tooth fairy you know doesn't exist? You think that flat Earth is essentially a tooth fairy that doesn't exist. So why ask me questions about it? Just prove a globe. I've seen how flat the Earth is in Australia. I'm in Australia, if you hadn't realised. I've done long distance observations in Australia where I proved it's flat. If you're just getting in, guys, please repost the live and share it the live. And as we wait for our globe proponents to roll in, please spam the likes, guys. Yeah, and I responded to that, and he didn't give me his company or $1 billion. I responded to that. Yeah, he didn't get back to me and give me my money that he said he would. And the company, he didn't give me the company either, so he lied to you. I'm a pilot. The Earth is flat. Yes, obviously the Earth is flat if you're a pilot, because you don't adjust for curvature, you don't adjust for Earth rotation, you treat the Earth as stationary and flat. Of course it's flat. Okay guys, if you're just getting in, please spam the likes, repost the live and share it the live. Appreciate you, Sonny, man. Please, yeah, share the live out. Yo, what's up, man?
How are you?
Good, man. Are you a globe Earth believer with a specular reflection from the sun in your profile picture?
Yes, for sure, for sure. I'm from South Africa, Cape Town.
You know that that image you got there in your profile picture proves a flat Earth, right?
100%, yeah, 100%.
Oh, so you're a flat
I,
earther.
I'm completely a flat earther.
Oh, I gotta let you go, man. I'm looking for opposition. Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but if you're gonna come up here and you're not opposition, I have to drop you. Okay, guys, if you're just getting in, F1 in the chat if you're a flat earther, guys. F1 in the chat if you're a flat earther. Yeah, Samuels, I'm not looking for flat earthers to come up. I'm looking for opposition. This is a debate platform. If you already agree with me, there's nothing to debate. We're just floating? Well, we're stationary. We're not floating, we're stationary. Also, floating requires a medium. So if you believe the Earth is floating, what's it floating in? Floating in a vacuum? Because gravity. If the sun is in space and it's a giant gas giant in a vacuum, why doesn't the sun just expand to fill the vacuum? Because gravity. How does the Earth in a vacuum gain an atmosphere to begin with, guys? How does an Earth with tiny little bit of gravity, in a little speck Earth in a giant vacuum, how does that even gain an atmosphere? If you cut out Great Circle route, you can use it flights on a flat Earth. Well, probably. How does fire exist in a vacuum? How does gas exist in a vacuum? The sun is gas. Man, it's crazy, huh? It's getting hard to find opposition, man. It's crazy. Getting real hard. Surely there's some globe proponents that want to come up and render an argument against me. Surely, right? Or maybe we're just too powerful. We can't lose, and they know that. And they come up and start begging the question and affirming the consequence. And shifting the burden of proof onto us. I can't prove a globe, so can you do it for me? But how much Coriolis would there be on the Earth? There is none. Oh, but how much would there be though? Oh, so now you want me to prove it for you. You want me to prove your claim for you now. That's what they always do. The one I don't believe in, right? The Coriolis effect on the Earth that I don't believe in. That one. Yeah, if the Earth had Coriolis, I could let go of a helium balloon and see the Earth rotate under it. It's an apparent deflection of an object in a rotating system. So you can recreate that on the merry-go-round. You throw a ball relative to the merry-go-round, it deviates because you're spinning. So if I throw a ball on the Earth, does the Earth deviate underneath it and spin under it? No, it doesn't. Where are these Gleb proponents, man? Is this just going to be another live where, like, they never join? Yeah, the Earth is effing huge and flat. I agree with you. It's effing huge and it's flat. Well, Buddha, I don't know, man. I've never been to the end of the Earth to know if there even is an end. The Earth we live in is an enclosed system. That's how we're breathing air. So there is no end to fall off. You guys are always straw man. Can you fall off a spinning ball, guys? In chat, yes if you can fall off a spinning ball. No if you don't fall off a spinning ball. Yes in chat if you fall off a spinning ball, guys. No. Could have fallen off. Really? We fall off spinning balls? Really? Could have fooled me. I thought we were spinning on one right now and we're not falling off. How does that work? Prove what? Prove what exactly?
Prove that your Earth is flat.
Prove the Earth is flat? Okay, no worries. Yeah, easy. Alright, no worries. Alright, let me pull up my observation of Dramana Beach across from Williamstown. See how we're seeing the shoreline here of the landmass here in the distance? It's overlaid with Google Earth. So that was this footage is taken from 4.8 meters above sea level and 53 kilometer distance. There should have been 160 meters of curvature. There was 0. So there's your flat Earth evidence.
I can't see your equation. Can you put your equation up a little bit for me?
How are we seeing the shoreline?
How are we seeing the shoreline? Elevation.
Oh, so no 160 meters of curve in the way?
Are you saying that's the exact shoreline where the water meets the land?
Yep. Dramana Beach style shoreline, yeah.
Yeah, I beg to differ. I don't think so.
No, okay. So you beg to differ. So we're seeing the shoreline. I've overlaid it though. Is that see how we're seeing the shoreline on screen, sir?
I see the shelf. What do you?
Yeah. How are we seeing that with
color differences?
How are we seeing that if there should be 160 meters of curve in the way?
Because the reflection of light in optics. So that's the shelf where the water meets the upper part of the land.
So no curvature.
Water meets the land.
So no curvature.
Two totally different.
Yep. So no curvature. So if there's
Yeah,
no
definitely
curvature in the
curvature.
image, then welcome to flat Earth. So is 53 kilometers of Earth curved or flat?
Are you saying there's no curvature in the image? There's clearly a curvature in the image.
Where? Where?
Where? Okay, put your mouse. Very simple. As a matter of fact, overline it
Where's the
on a
curve?
grid paper.
Where's the curve?
Overlay that picture on a grid,
Yeah,
if
it's
you
on
don't mind.
screen. So the middle marker there that you're seeing, that middle marker on the landmass there, the three points,
I
the
can't
middle
see
one.
it. Can you circle it,
That's how
if you don't
many.
mind?
That's how many. So the middle marker there in the middle image there, the middle one.
You
That's how
talking about the
much
blue one at the
curvature
very
should have been
top?
there. No, the middle one. So half of this landmass should have been hidden by the curve, and it wasn't. You're saying that it is there. How are we seeing the shoreline then?
Due to the elevation of the mountain versus
That's been that's
and
been taken into
the
account.
yeah, may I see that?
Yeah, it's been taken into account. Oh, the
Yeah,
advanced Earth
you
curve.
get the calculation straight.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
here,
okay,
advanced
thank you.
Earth curve calculator, 4.8 meters above sea level. In order for me to make that observation, the Earth would have had to have been 47 times bigger, or I would have had to be 220 meters above sea level. I was only 4.8 meters above sea level. So if we're seeing the shoreline, sir, and there's no curvature in the way of that
Once again, that's
shoreline,
not the shoreline.
what is it then?
That dark blue there is the shelf.
What
So
is
you're
that then?
seeing
If that's not the shoreline, then what is it?
you're seeing a optical illusion
I'm seeing an
where
optical illusion of the shoreline.
may I finish?
Did you just
The
say I'm
color
seeing an
difference there.
optical illusion of the shoreline?
You're seeing an optical illusion of the color shift, which is demonstrated by
This
the
is Google
shallowness of
Earth.
the water.
This is just Google Earth. You go to Google Earth, you look at the shoreline, and that's what you see.
So is it accurate or no?
Yeah, yes.
That's accurate.
Yes. So where's the
That
curve?
dark blue. Okay. Yeah. Do the Google Earth thing and zoom out there.
What?
Yeah. I would like to street view from the other side of the mountain, if you don't mind.
Dude, on screen, okay, we're seeing the shoreline. How am I seeing the shoreline?
That's not the.
That's not the
shoreline.
shore. What is it then? What is it?
That's where the water gets shallow, so it changes
The
colors.
water gets shallow. Shallow from what? Shallow from what exactly? What are you talking about getting shallow? What does that mean?
The depth in the water changes.
No, it doesn't. So again, this is me
You're saying
zooming
the
across.
water
Do you
is-
see how I'm zooming across here? There's no curvature in the way of this landmass. Where's the curve?
I can legitimately see the curvature on the screen. Matter of fact, you
Where?
overlaid it on
Where?
Yeah.
Where are you seeing here? Is that curve?
Go to your left.
Where's the curve here?
Go that way.
Here.
Put one hand exactly
Is
where.
that the curve?
Put your hand there.
No.
Now,
So
put your other
is
hand on
is
it.
that the curve? Is this the curve? Yes or no?
I'm telling you how to get the curve. I'm telling you.
Where?
Yeah,
Where is? There's no curve in the way of the
there.
shoreline,
No,
sir. Why are you being dishonest,
I'm
sir?
not gonna
Sir. Why are you being so dishonest? We are seeing the shoreline of Dramana Beach on screen. Welcome to Flat Earth. Welcome to Flat Earth. What is your argument against this? Instead of just pretending you don't see and you're blind that you don't see it, how are we seeing it, sir?
Overlay that.
All right, have a nice day.
Graph paper.
Have a nice day. You want evidence of Flat Earth, and then you do everything in your power to not address the evidence. Have a nice day, bud. Welcome to Flat Earth. Thank you for your contribution in proving that you're just like every other globe proponent. When I show the evidence, you don't want to see the evidence. You just make an excuse as to how you do everything in your power not to address the evidence on screen. Everything but addressing the evidence. You want to see it, and you see it, and you don't want to address it. Welcome to Flat Earth. So guys, not only that, but all of aviation treats the Earth flat and stationary. Every single part of aviation does not take into account curvature, Earth rotation ever in flight dynamics. You never treat a spinning ball as stationary. You never treat a ball as flat. Yet they do that in reality. Welcome to Flat Earth. Thanks for playing. Every single one of these dishonest people that come up, man. Oh, show me the evidence. Okay, I'll show the evidence. And then they do everything, literally guys, everything in their power to not address the evidence. Oh, that's not the shoreline. Oh, no. Show me the overlay. Okay, but that overlay is not the shoreline. No. Oh, fuck off. This is the problem, right? Because they never go out and do their own observations. So they don't know what they're looking at. Even though I show them, they still don't get it because they never do their own observations. Prove the image was taken from the other shoreline. Yeah, no worries. I can do that easily. But I'm not doing that unless you come up here. So I'm not going to waste my time debating you from the comment section where you can just say nah. Because that observation there is very well documented by me, and I prove exactly where I am and everything. So that I did that on purpose so that you guys can't just say I'm lying, because that's what you always do. You just hand wave dismiss it by saying I'm lying. And then when I'm not lying, you proceed to tell me that it's not the shoreline. Even though it is. The wolf, what are you talking about, bud? If you're a Globie Earth proponent, then why don't you come up? People want to see the evidence, and I show them the evidence, and then they don't address the evidence. Prove to me that you have 10 pennies in the drawer. I open the drawer and there's 10 pennies in there. Oh, but how do I know that? But show the overlay. How do I know that's a real? How do I know those real pennies? But how? But. This is what they're doing every time. I've noticed the people on TikTok, man, the ones that, okay, the people that do the battles have souls. These people that I'm dealing with are just soulless NPCs. Like, literally. It's so different. They're so dishonest, man. It's so bad. If you want to deal with the most dishonest people ever, do what I do. And you're going to deal with the most dishonest atheist fraudsters, dude. Literally. Imagine we're in a court of law, I'm showing the evidence, and he's just like, nah, that's not the shoreline. And it's on screen. Nah, no, that's not. I'd immediately, if this was a court of law, I would immediately just win the court case instantly with these people, how they act.
Yo, I just want to say you're a fucking dumbass.
And I just want to say that you're like 5 years old. And I only accept guests that are 21 plus. I'm a dumbass, but you're 5 years old. Get out of here, you little flop. You clearly see the shore. I know, it couldn't be any more clear, and they refuse to see it. Literally couldn't make it more clearer than that, and they don't want to see it. They suddenly become blind. Oh, I don't see it. No, that's not the shoreline. Vincent, looking for opposition, man. Look at these demons manifesting in the chat. Look at this. Look what Tom Clean just said. Demonic atheists, man. I tell you, they're at it. Okay, guys, if you are an actual soulful person, you have a soul, right, and you want to come up and actually have a real discussion, please come on up. But if you're just a dishonest atheist that's going to come up and just deny everything I show and talk over me constantly on my own live, then don't even bother. It's getting too hard to find opposition, man. It's actually getting so hard now that it's like every proponent that comes up to ask me to prove the flat earth, I prove it, and then they suddenly become clinically blind. Oh, I don't see it. Oh, no, I don't see it. It's such a joke. Okay guys, large bodies of water remain flat and level to their container, and I'm proposing that the oceans are doing the same thing. The physics of water doesn't suddenly change because it's bigger and bigger and start curving. No, it stays flat and level across the whole Earth. Mean sea levels are horizontal flat Earth datum. So, welcome to Flat Earth, thanks for playing. If you're a Globe Earth proponent and you want to come up and render an argument against me, or you want evidence of a flat Earth, please comment up. Because I got all the evidence in the world. Which I shouldn't have, right? If the Earth's actually a ball spinning adjacent next to a vacuum, hurtling through space, I should never have evidence for the contrary to that. And I do. This real guy, alright, I want to invite you up. You're starting to piss me off, bud. Oh, just mute him. Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yaps in the comments, doesn't want to come up. There you go. Why are you all cowards, man? Why do you want to yap in my comments day in, day out, and you don't want to come up? It's just cowards, man. No offense, but you don't deserve attention. Says the guy who's commenting to me. Why are you giving me attention then if I don't deserve it? You idiot. Oh my god. Yeah, this guy doesn't deserve attention, so let me comment to him so he can read it. That's so funny. Dude, these guys literally just troll themselves, dude. They're so possessed, right? That they just don't know what they're doing. Like, at all. You don't deserve attention. Imagine going up to someone and saying to them, dude, you don't deserve attention at all. No, you don't deserve attention. And you're talking to them. You're giving them attention. That's what you just did. Oh, it's entertaining to watch me now. Oh, so it's entertaining to watch someone that doesn't deserve attention. He just did it again. Oh my god. Now he's saying it's entertaining to watch me. I thought I didn't deserve attention, so why are you watching me? He just did it again. Oh my god. That's so funny, dude. Alright. Yeah. You don't deserve attention. You're muted for the entire live. I could talk more in the comments. No, you can't. You're muted for the entire live. See how that works? You want to talk to me from the comment section. Yeah, not gonna happen. Now what? Now what? You gonna come up now? Talk to me? You wanted to talk to me from my comments. So he literally said, nah, I could speak more to you in the comment section. Not when you're muted. Oh my god! Jumped on the second account just to say not talking to you. These guys are deranged lunatics, man. Oh my gosh. Guys, the guy that said I don't deserve attention just came onto another account to give me more attention. Oh my god, these people are fucking lunatics, man. Imagine that, right? You get kicked out of a bar after telling them they don't deserve attention, and you come back again with the wig on. Oh my god. Okay, guys, I'm looking for opposition, guys. If you're a globe Earth proponent, you believe the Earth is spinning globe in outer space, and you think you have evidence for it, please comment up. Please spam the likes, guys. You're doing a good job. Remember, spamming the likes, guys, actually really helps me out. So if everybody can spam the likes, that'd be great. It proves that we're the center of the universe and God's real, essentially, is what it proves. You can't be the center of the entire cosmos on accident, bud. The visible ISS, whatever it is, it's much closer and local. Even with the Starlink satellites, right? You can see Starlink with your naked eye, and they claim that that's 350 miles away. How can you see something that's smaller than a school bus 350 miles away, guys? Starlink is local. Whatever the ISS is, it's closer and local. They're not in space. They're not in a magical space vacuum that violates natural laws. Seek therapy? What did he say? Yeah, invite him up. Invite Z, whatever his name is, up. You're yapping, bud. Why are you yapping? Just come up and prove your globe, and it's over. Stop yapping. Guys, if you're going to mute anybody, just mute him for 5 minutes. Unless I say to mute him for the entire live. Just for 5 minutes, guys, so they stop crying. Oh, there we go. You're finally up. Because you got muted. What's up, man? Do you believe the Earth's a globe?
Hello?
Yeah, what's up, man? Do you believe the Earth's a globe? Your signal's really bad. And now he's teacupped.
Hello?
What's up? How old are you?
21.
Why does all of aviation treat the Earth flat?
You said what?
Why does all of aviation treat the Earth flat?
No, before that, I had a question. You've been ignoring me.
Of course you do.
Do you think all the other planets are flat too?
No, the other planets are luminaries in the sky to tell time.
You said they what?
They're luminaries in the sky above us.
So Earth is just an anomaly?
Earth is the center of creation with the luminaries above it to tell time. It's not an anomaly, it's the only terra firma there is. It's geocentric.
So an anomaly, right?
No, geocentric.
Okay.
Yeah, so what evidence do you have for... He just left. There's no way that guy was 21. Why is Earth special? Wait, why is Earth the only flat thing? Why are we so special? Because we're the center of the universe, with the luminaries above us to tell time. The universe revolves around us, not the other way around. That's why. They're essentially just asking, like, why are we so special? Why is the Earth so special? Why are we the center of the universe? That's kind of what they're asking, really, deep down. Yeah, because God put us in the center of the universe. We're special. That's why. Pretty selfish? No, it's not. being placed in the center of creation is not selfish, it's just how it is. Relativity would actually tell you that it appears like we're the center, but they just tell you that it's not, it's an illusion. I say we are the center. It looks like we're in the center because we are. They say it looks like we're in the center, but it's an illusion. Yeah, trees, yeah. Why are there no trees in space? Why aren't trees globes? But they're coming out of the Earth, Jeffrey. Why aren't trees globes? I thought everything was a globe. How come trees aren't globes? Why isn't a blade of grass a globe? Why isn't a banana a globe? Why isn't an apple an oblate spheroid? Why are clouds not globes? How old are you, Jonah?
Bro, I'm not trying to join. It keeps like making me request.
Oh, well, you're up now. How old are you?
21.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay. And why do you believe the Earth's a spinning globe in outer space?
Well, I just wonder, why couldn't God just make it a globe? Why does it have to be flat?
He could have, but he didn't.
But why didn't he?
Why are you asking me why God didn't do something?
Well, it's just this just seems like a silly debate. It's just kind of pointless.
Then why are you here?
I didn't choose to be here. Put me up here.
You're constantly commenting in my live. If it's unimportant, why you keep commenting in my live?
Because I like talking with people, man.
Oh, so here you are talking to me then, so it is important. So, yeah, we're the center of the universe. We're stationary. We don't move. And the Earth's a level topographical plane. Do you want to render an argument against that?
No, man. I'm just chilling.
Okay. So why didn't God make it a globe?
I don't know, man. You'd have to ask. I could have.
Have a nice day. Why did God make it a globe? Oh my gosh, dude. Could have God made it a globe? Yes, he could have made it. He could have made it whatever he wanted. He decided to make it a level topographical plane because it's logical. You know when you used to play with your toys, you played with them on a flat surface. Did you ever play with your toys on a globe, on a spinning globe that was moving and hurtling? Did you play with them on that, or did you play with them on a stationary flat object? It's logical for everyone to be placed on a level topographical plane that's enclosed. It's logical. It's illogical to be putting someone on a spinning ball hurtling through space on adjacent next to a vacuum. That's illogical. You're just scared to get proved wrong. He didn't have an argument. Here we go, another cheerleader. All right, you're invited, bud. Coming up. If you decline the invite, you're gonna get blocked for the entire live. All right, I'm still gonna mute you for the entire live. Have a nice day. Stop white knighting for children that come up, dude. Yeah, he wasn't trying to argue, but he's here still commenting in my live. That's not important. You see that, guys? Another one. Your live's not important, but I'm going to comment in it for the next hour. Okay, guys. Well, it looks like we got no globe proponents at all. Not even one person can come up and defend their belief. Wow, amazing. So far, 0 people, man. 0. Not one soul has come up to actually render an argument against me or for me or whatever. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Crazy. Yeah, Jonah, if you're an atheist, then yeah, you are unimportant. You came from nothing and you're going to nothing. So, yeah. So this live is as important as you are, according to your own belief system. You're just nothing. You're irrelevant. You're a speck of dust in the universe that's expanding. You're irrelevant. that's the sad part. That's what you actually believe, which is pretty bad if you ask me. Alright, Jonah, you're still here proving that this live is important, so you're muted for the entire live. What's up, Lily? Not one opposition, guys. Not one. Not one person came up to render an argument yet. Not one. That's crazy. No one coming up, man. If you're a globe Earth believer and you think the Earth is a spinning globe adjacent next to a vacuum, like we all learnt, then please come on up and render an argument. I think we may have our first globe proponent, guys. Maybe. I don't know. But maybe. Luke, what's up? Do you believe the Earth's a spinning globe in outer space? No, I take it back. No, we don't have it. Smiley face if you're a globe earther, guys. Shit, I was on mute the whole time. Smiley face if you're a globe earther. Smiley face if you're a globe earther. Alright, watch this. Crying face if you're a flat earther. Crying face if you're a flat earther. Crying face if you're a flat earther. Alright, so 10 people. 10 people hit yeah that they're a globe earther. Come on up, request up. Can anybody come up and render an argument as to how the Earth is a spinning globe adjacent next to a vacuum, or what the evidence is for that? All vacuums that are created, like man-made, right, they all require containers. So if you believe that there's an infinite sky vacuum above us, it's uncontained. How do you have and sustain a vacuum without a container? How do you do that? You'd have to use gravity, right? You believe it's caused by gravity, so can you use gravity to create a vacuum? Can you use gravity to pull gas molecules away from an area and create a vacuum, guys? And sustain it? That's what you believe. Dog groomer's aunt's husband's brother works at NASA. Guys, this is crazy. I've been live for almost an hour, and there's not been one globe proponent to come up and actually defend their belief. Not one. Not one. How crazy is that? Not even one. Call McToon. Oh yeah. Dude, last time I dealt with that guy, he melted, he lost it. He's losing it. You telling me there's not one glow proponent, guys, that could come up? What's up, Lee? Are you a glow proponent? Hello? Lee, are you there? Oh, flat earth. Oh, okay. No, a plane doesn't run into the firmament. Unbelievable, man. Not one glow proponent, guys. It's almost been an hour. In 8 minutes, it'd be an hour since I've been live. Got 146 people, and no one can come up and defend their globe. Wow. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy. Alright, well. Okay, let's have a look. Here we go. The horizon is the apparent location where the sky meets the Earth's surface. So the same reason why a hallway converges to a point is the same reason we see the ground ramp up, the sky ramp down. The water ramp up, the sky ramp down. To a convergence point called the horizon, which is the apparent location where the sky meets the Earth's surface. It's created by the limitations of our vision. So these streetlights are setting beyond the road. Are they actually below the road though at the end? No, they're not. They appear to be, but they're not. Just like the sun. As the sun moves away from you, it lowers you to perspective and it sets. You can overlay any time lapse of the sun setting on a hallway and you will see that it matches. Welcome to Flat Earth, thanks for playing. See that, guys? Oh yeah. See that? Yeah. Alright. No glow proponents, man. Unreal. Not even one. Not even one. Not one. Unreal, man. I don't believe the Earth is flat. It is flat. It's measured flat. It's treated flat. So this road is converging to a point, right? The ground, again, is ramping up. The sky and trees are ramping down. And the beach does the same thing. The water at the ocean does the same thing. It ramps up and the sky ramps down. That's not curvature. That's the limitations of your vision. Welcome to Flat Earth. Thanks for playing. This is Lake Pontchartrain. They say that Lake Pontchartrain's evidence of a globe when Lake Pontchartrain's flat as fuck. So you'll see here I overlay Lake Pontchartrain. If it's gonna play, that is. Watch this overlay, guys. Notice how the ground's ramping up and up and up and up. It appears to be ramping up, right? Ramping up. So a flat surface does the same thing. A flat road does the same thing. So if a flat road is flat and it's ramping up, if the water is ramping up, it's also flat, essentially. So look at that overlay. It's the same thing. But we know that's a flat road. You can zoom in onto the horizon, reveal things that weren't visible, proving that the horizon is not a physical blocking, and it's not a physical hill essentially blocking things, the limitations of your vision. Look at the water ramping up. Look at the buoy. Look at that flat road ramping up. It's the same effect. Welcome to Flat Earth Explain. So if you believe that is a flat road, which it is, then how is that water curving if it's doing the same thing? Pretty simple, guys. Pretty simple. So not even a single globe proponent, man. Not one. That's crazy. Not even one. Could I debate AI? Last time that didn't go well for AI. It said that 10 miles of Earth is flat. Yeah, all keyboard warriors, man. They were only waking more. You know what? That's funny, right? Because the way they act, right? They're so dishonest. When any globe earther that's actually honest, like we were once globe earthers who were honest, right? Imagine us watching these anti-flat earthers back when, if we weren't flat earthers watching that, and we're like, dude, what's going on here? Why is he melting? Why is he losing his mind? Why is he saying that he can feel the earth spinning? Why is he not acknowledge that we're seeing the horizon there? Why is he not acknowledge that we're seeing the shoreline? Why is he saying that we can see him behind a hill? Like, imagine all this. They're hearing. Imagine us as globe earthers back then hearing this type of shit. Of course, we'd become flat earthers. But where are the bottoms? Where are the bottoms? Where are the bottoms of that? Where are the bottoms? Like, they believe the entire thing's behind Earth curvature, and they're asking us where the bottoms are. That's how stupid it is. So you're asking me where the bottoms of those land masses is, when you believe that the entire thing is behind Earth curvature, and you're asking me why the bottom's missing. Cavendish, are you a globe earther? Come on up. There's been 0 globe proponents to come up and even debate. 0. Absolutely 0. No globe proponents have come up in the last hour. I've been live for about an hour now. 0 opposition. 0. Dude, I must be doing something right. How can there be 0 opposition? 0 this entire live. Are you telling me everybody that rolls up and sees this page is not coming up to defend it? I may have to restart the live, I think. Yo.
Hey, Angela, I got a question real quick. Are you there?
Yeah.
Where can I find that video where they had the pressure gradient within that tank, where they had the 2 valves or the 2 gauges on it?
I found that on YouTube. Yeah, I typed in.
Do you remember what it was under?
I remember I just typed in pressure gradient container or something along those lines, and I found it. Yeah.
All right, and I got some asshole Globie that's testing me on this shit, and I couldn't find it. So.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, a propane tank has a pressure gradient, a soda can has a pressure gradient, a water bottle has a pressure gradient. Like, you know what I mean? The only way to have the antecedent of gas pressure is with the container. So, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Take care, man. Yeah, I recorded that video when I saw it because it was like, oh, okay, there you go. Temperature variations creating a pressure gradient. That's what we claim.
I just want to tell you all the globe proofs that you may be forgetting about.
water drops are curved and you don't understand scale and the gravity container and
collects at NASA.
yeah.
Yeah. There you go, guys. That's a globe. That's a globe.
And take a picture of the edge. And what about pictures from space?
Yeah, exactly. How can I ever refute that? I can't believe it, guys. Not one globe proponent. Not one. It's been an hour.
I'm a globe proponent.
Oh, no.
I'm flipping today.
Oh, no. And Dave's a really good
This
Globie, by the way.
has been a scam. Clyde's been my partner. Jeffrey's been my partner. And we're here today to tell you that the Earth is a globe, because how could everyone in the world be lying? That's my scientific proof right there. Hey, I'm glad, Jeffrey, you showed up. Jeffrey, yesterday I think it was you that was talking about it. The energy that comes from the downward bias of energy that comes from the space. Maybe, I think this was you. You said that energy causes gas to disperse, and the higher the energy, the more it disperses. Was that you that said that?
No, it wasn't me. I got the flu, by the way, so I sound funny.
You always sound funny. Listen, so the energy. So think about this: the energy that comes from the sky, where we have the positive sky and the negative Earth. The energy that comes down, the stronger that energy, the more it makes the molecules of air scatter. So as you go up, besides colder temperatures, which make the air thinner, less pressure, you have more energy, causing it to disperse even more. Have you heard that?
I haven't heard that, but that's interesting.
There's two things that I discussed before, and that is an energy mass equivalence. So if you look it up, as you go from solid to gas, you release more potential energy. So there's basically there's stability, there's inherent stability, because if you decrease in mass, you increase in energy. And they're obviously profoundly intertwined. So that's one thing that I talk about. But also, I have mentioned HVAC before as well. So heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, the people have mentioned, are basically that you've got atmospheric pressure and you've got pressure due to acceleration. And basically they work together to make the sum total of the system. If you decrease one, you can increase the other. That's kind of stable. So you may have heard me mention that, but
they called it electrostatic propulsion. So the stronger the energy, the more propulsion the molecules have away from each other. Yeah. So the higher up you go, we know there's more energy, and that's why the air is thinner. That makes so much sense to me.
Well, I've said that before too. I believe it's not just the gradient's not just relative to upthrust, aka buoyancy, but it's also due to the charge in the atmosphere and to temperature gradients as well. So
it's never one thing. Like I'm not. I was going to make a joke that I can't finish it. There's always more than one explanation for something. There's more than one explanation for almost everything. Like, why does the sun set? There's several explanations for that. How does the sun set? Well, it sets in different ways depending on the different variables that you're in. So things happen all different ways. Like, how does NASA fake rockets? Well, sometimes they're holograms. Sometimes they're balloons. Sometimes they're miniatures. Sometimes they're just on TV and they don't happen at all.
Yeah, I think that HVAC thing is a pretty cool thing. But basically, you're like a HVAC system is a combination of atmospheric pressure or static pressure, if you will, and then also I can't remember the correct terminology used, but it's like pressure due to acceleration or movement. So they work together. But yeah, and then you've got the electrical charge that goes up significantly as you get higher. Then you've got the temperature. And that's the hard thing about isolating and manipulating a causal factor. It is rather hard to isolate something because there's a number of things in play, like you said.
Hey, Angel, are you still looking for Globers? Are you wrapping it up? I just turned you on.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm still looking, but there's no one.
They're
I can't
becoming
believe
very rare species.
we used to hunt them. I'm telling you, me and Darcy, man, we're gonna have a zoo. We're gonna have globes in there. I'm gonna be like, yeah, we used to hunt these. They're extinct now, but.
So yeah, that brings up a talking point. You know, you're always seeing the flat Earth in space like a disk with all the water coming off of it. Talk about a mixed paradigm, right? Fallacy. It's like they don't believe that space has a downwards vector or a preferred vector. That when you fall in space, it's relative to the body of next greatest mass. And they're so full of shit. And then we tell them, we quite clearly tell them we don't believe in space for two reasons: A, biblical, and B, science. You can't have a vacuum next to a pressurized system. So when they say, what's under the flat Earth? Well, the answer's pretty simple. Other shit that we don't see.
More Earth.
At least
More
it's
Earth.
not 95% nothing, you bastards. Right?
You know, in the Bible it says the Earth is on pillars that are set in the foundation of the deep, or something like that. If I got that right? Don't those giant oil rigs that they have giant pillars that go way down into the water, and they don't touch the bottom, but they hold the thing stable? I think they have just pillars that go into the really dense water, you know, the pressure, and the four pillars hold the platform stable.
Yeah, that's
Look, I'm not sure about that, but what I'm saying is that whatever pillars are there, they're not in nothing. There's the sum total of existence, whatever the sum total of existence is other shit, whether it be solid, liquid, gas, superfluid, or plasma. And that's why I looked that up. Well, it's like I'm thinking in my mind, if that's the case, then there has to be an equivalence to create stability, yeah? And sure enough, that's what science says. That as you go from more mass to less mass, you go from less energy to higher energy, and you create this kind of stabilization. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, Vincent, are you a globe Earth proponent? Vincent.
I know it's a globe because when you go to the movie theaters,
I do it.
Show a globe spinning.
I do it.
I love the people that come on when you ask them and they're Globers. They go, yes, 100%, 100%. They always say 100%.
Yeah, what they do, so many of them, they come up and go, are you a globe Earth believer? And they're like, no, I'm not a flat earther. It's like, okay, so you're a globe believer.
They can't even hear what you're saying because their mind is so busy listening to itself.
Yeah. Or they come up and like, do you believe the Earth's a spinning globe? No, I don't believe it's a globe. I believe it's oblate. An oblate globe.
We're privileged. We've got Dr. James Smith again. Perhaps he'll grace us with his presence this time.
Yeah,
yes, the book of Job says the Earth is suspended on nothing. But if you look at the context of that, you'll realize that he was going through immense suffering. The first thing his wife said to him was, curse God and die. He says, we receive good from God. Shall we not also receive evil? In other words, we go through, you know, these opposition in life. In addition to that, he said, when I lay myself down on my sofa or in my bed, you fill my head with nightmares and terrors. The man is going to his nth degree of insanity or of sanity and going through questions about everything. So when he thinks about the earth being on nothing, what he's saying inside of his head is, how can something be infinite or how can it not be infinite? How does any of this shit make sense? I'm just a man, not a god. Right? So he's saying it hangs upon nothing because it's something that I can't visualize as a man.
James, what is that in your icon, by the way? Is that like the SR-72 or something?
I can't really visit right now because I had to work on my computer all night. It wasn't running right. And so now I've got to go to bed, but I'll look for you later.
You came up to tell us you're going to bed?
Yeah.
James,
oh my God.
I just thought I would let you know about the religious aspect, but we'd love to hear your science as well.
Yeah, we don't want to hear about you going to bed and basically saying that you're scared of us and don't want to debate. We want you to debate you. Now watch him in the comments, guys. He's going to comment for the next hour.
Well, sleep well, you know? Sweet dreams.
Yeah, sweet dreams, bud. He came up to tell us he's going to bed. What an idiot.
I wonder if he sleeps on a curved bed or a flat bed. Doesn't that prove one or the other?
Well, last I checked, you try to fall asleep on a moving object. It's pretty hard sometimes, especially if it's spinning.
Earth's so big.
Because gravity but refraction, Earth is really big.
Did you guys see when that first guy came up? Well, technically I did have one globe proponent, but he was so dishonest. So he's like, what's your flat earth evidence? I showed him the shoreline of the beach. He's like, how do I know that's the shoreline? Did you see that? God, they're dishonest. They come up, they want the evidence, you show the evidence, and then they don't want to address the evidence. They want to make every excuse as to why it's not evidence without addressing it directly.
Hashtag holograms.
Yeah, so they believe in holograms wrapping around a globe, but they can't see that that's a shoreline. They can see a round Earth curvature, but they can't see that that's a shoreline.
See the bottom of the buildings. The rest of it's a hologram.
Oh, look, guys. Dr. James is in the comments, like I said. Remember? Remember, he needed to go to bed, though, right? But he's in my comments again. You fucking flop. You lying flop. Just tell us that you're scared, bud. Tell us you're scared without telling us.
I think he is a little bit. Bit of a loaded panel at the moment as well. Probably doesn't know.
Yeah, well.
So, Angels, are you telling me?
I would really. Oh, look! The guy, look! The guy that needed to go to bed is on my panel again. So we're gonna debate the shape of the Earth, bud. You're not going to bed clearly because you requested up again. You accepted. So, are you ready to get your daily flat smack in, sir?
Wait, ready? Maybe he's gonna prove globe Earth to us. Let's hear it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Prove your globe. Go ahead. Unmute.
Checks under his bed for flat water.
Maybe he pocket panel.
Nah, I invited him. He accepted.
That could be. That's how you get pocket panel. Notice that thing comes up and.
No, he was talking.
Doesn't know he's on the panel.
No, he does. He was talking, and I muted him because he was talking over people.
Hey, James, do you check under the bed for flat water?
James.
He was good enough. Let's not take the piss too hard. He was good enough to come up. It'll be interesting to see what
he goes. There he goes.
All right, what's up, man? What's your best evidence that the Earth's a spinning globe adjacent next to a vacuum?
I wouldn't even know where to start. There's so much evidence of it.
Instead of so much, is there one thing that you can tell us? Just one, anyone.
Well, I was just telling you that if the Earth was arranged like you think it is, it would turn into an oven. You can't have a sealed Earth with a local sun.
Energy doesn't get created or destroyed, which means you're never gaining infinity.
You're not gaining.
You're not gaining energy. So why would it?
The heat is being generated on the inside, just like if you have an oven.
If energy doesn't get created or destroyed, it wouldn't get infinitely hot. And plus, the moon is a pulling force, basically. The moon and sun are opposites. So the moon's energy absorbs the sun's energy, in my opinion. So it wouldn't be. It's a cycle. When it rains, do we get flooded because it constantly rains, or does it just cycle?
What I like to do is write up
things
and send them to people that way.
Yeah, Doctor. So listen,
how about a globe proof?
Globe proof, go ahead.
Globe proof. Yeah, globe proof, go.
We know it's a globe. I worked at NASA for 31 years.
Okay, how did you prove it was a globe?
Into space.
You said satellite. Can I address that? That's funny that you say that. So, did you send them up using an Earth-fixed, Earth-centered reference frame like they use?
Everything follows the reference frame of the object. Like when you're in an airplane,
I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask you that. When you sent up satellites, what coordinate system did you use?
We use the Earth's coordinate system until they're launched into space. And then it still references the Earth's coordinate system.
So you use an Earth-fixed, Earth-centered reference frame, which assumes the Earth to be stationary in the center of creation. Is the Earth stationary in the center of creation?
listen, for one thing, I'm a Christian. I believe the Bible.
Okay, don't deflect, okay? When you sent up the satellites, okay, you used an Earth-centered, Earth-fixed reference frame. Is the Earth in reality the center of creation and stationary?
It doesn't say that in the Bible. So
I didn't ask you about the Bible. I asked you.
Answer that question, and I want to ask you a question about the Bible.
I'll do all of that.
Answer my
I'll
question.
do all of that later. I've got to go to bed. Like I said, but I'll be glad to. No,
Yeah.
I'll come up later.
Dr. James, I want you to open your Bible to page 1 and read the first line in Genesis where it says,
In the
God
beginning,
separated
God
the
created
waters
the
from the
heaven and the
waters,
earth. Right.
and
Yeah.
separated them with the firmament.
Yeah. Well, you know, if there was probably something there years ago that acted as a firmament.
So now
you know,
it's dissolved.
It is
now
mentioned.
He made a firmament over the globe, and now the firmament's gone because it says that somewhere in the Bible that the firmament's no longer there, right? Wrong.
I don't know if it says it in the Bible, but
James, if you DM me, I'll
Why do
send
you
you a
believe it?
video with 200 proofs in the Bible that the earth is flat. You believe in the Bible?
Yes,
Let me show you
I do believe in the
200
Bible.
verses in the Bible that talk about the flat earth. None of them talk about the ball earth. None. DM me. I'm Flat Earth
Okay.
Dave. DM me. You sound like, hey, if it's true that you worked at NASA for 31 years, you're either controlled, which I'll say, no, you're not. You're brainwashed. You're brainwashed. And that's not an insult. It happens to a lot of people. We all get brainwashed. We used to be brainwashed. So there you go. DM me and I'll send you some good stuff.
Okay, I can't tell who's talking to me.
This is Flat Earth Dave. Flat Earth
okay.
Dave. Flat Earth
All right.
Dave.
Sure. I'll follow you and everything.
Have a good night on your flat bed in your flat room with flat water and flat
Hey,
closed air.
hey, Dr. James, do you know anyone that used to do the do you know anything about eclipses and how they predict eclipses? How does NASA predict eclipses? Do you know anything about that?
I assume I didn't work in that area, but when I was in school, we calculated some things using these differential equations. I'm assuming that they just keep track of it like that.
Yeah, so NASA uses the Saros cycle to predict eclipses. Do you know what the Saros cycle is?
No.
The Saros cycle was discovered by the ancient Babylonians and Mesopotamians. They came up with the Saros cycle, and the ancient Babylonians were flat Earth geocentrists. Why would NASA be using data from a flat Earth geocentric civilization?
Well, a lot of times you can just assume the Earth is flat in your calculations.
Oh, can you? So let me get this straight. Can you ever assume a spinning ball to be stationary and flat?
No.
But they do.
Look up Fred Espernak. That's where NASA gets all their eclipse predictions from.
Okay. I'll do that.
You see how they use here for everything for the moon, sun, planets, ephemeris data. It literally says on screen there, geocentric. They assume the Earth to be geocentric for that. Why would they do that?
Dr. James, before you go to bed, it's never too late. You're never too old to learn something new, because when you learn something new that's true, it's a good thing. So don't forget that.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm always open to learning and being wrong. That's not a problem.
It's about learning new things. That's a good attitude.
Right.
Love to talk to you about it. Send me a DM, Flat Earth Dave.
Okay, I sure will.
Check out my website, flatearthdave.com. Lots of good videos there that will interest you.
All right, sounds great.
James, I would say something in addition to that. There are over 200 scriptures that reference a flat, non-rotating Earth.
I've heard people say that.
Well,
I just haven't had a chance to look them up.
We've done the work for you. We put them all in a video so you can see them and reach out to Jeffrey also. Jeffrey 3-body problem. He'll give you some great stuff also. All right, brother.
All right. Bye-bye.
That's it.
I think he's actually, I believe, to me it sounds like he worked at NASA for 31 years and he's completely brainwashed.
Yeah, I mean, did he prove a globe though? I mean, sending up satellites, admittedly assuming the Earth to be stationary.
But brainwashing involves you thinking that satellites prove the globe. It is a form of brainwashing that most of the world believes that satellites prove a globe. Because if satellites do what they say they do, then they do prove a globe, but they don't because we have no proof that they do any of that.
And the thing
I
is,
don't think. I don't. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
they say there's 12 to 15,000 satellites proper up there. That's not satellites. Every time you see an ISS feed, you don't see one out of 15,000. And why is the bracket so substantial? 12 to 15.
Why does Google Loon use satelloons? Why does this? Yeah, right. You know they've got admittedly this stratospheric balloon and airships. They've got airships that are essentially satellites too, which they admit to using.
And those balloons, which when we see a picture from a balloon, it always appears that it's pretty close to the same height as the sun. The sun's just a little higher. And so it's never above the balloon. And those solar panels are facing at the angle that the sun would be at the same height. If they really wanted solar panels that worked and the sun was 93 million miles away, those puppies would be pointing almost straight up.
Exactly. Yeah, the angle is literally like this, so that it's like up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the side almost. Daniel, what's up? Do you believe the Earth's a spinning globe in outer space?
Angel, you goober. I've been a part of your life for a long time.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, sorry.
I just came up to ask Dave a quick question about the Kiribati transport route.
Go ahead.
I watched it the other night, and then I went ahead and looked up the Gleason's map and tried to see where it was. On the thinner part of Antarctica, where it's the less amount of ice, it says right there, appearance of land. Right where they're going through at. Why would they label it like they're on there like that?
Interesting. That's on the Gleason's map, you said?
Yeah. It's literally labeled appearance of land.
Now, and that's the area that doesn't have any bases on it. There's no bases on that part.
That's even weirder.
Yeah. Well, that's it. In my opinion, it could be because the sun never rises.
It says that there's no light past 80 degrees.
Interesting.
On the map, on that Gleason map, it says that there's no light past.
Yeah, I've got it right next to me, but yeah, I can't remember if it's 80. Is 80 or 70? Yeah.
I think it's 80.
Okay.
I just thought it was interesting. You guys have a good day. I watched it last night, and I was like, man, he's on to something. He found a boat down there. What?
Yeah,
I'm
Daniel,
going to Kiribati.
I don't know if you've seen my video. If you get the Marine Traffic app, just randomly go to Antarctica and you'll see boats there sometimes. Like
There's
on
boats
the ice.
way out there
Way
all
out.
the time now. Way out there. You know what those are? Those are the elite running. They're taking their big ships and they're running.
Literally, yeah. They're so far down that if you were to project out on the globe, they'd almost be in the middle of Antarctica.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Which they claim
Is that
that's
a mistake
really high.
on their part or a revelation of the method? Are they telling us? Are they letting us see it?
Darcy saw one that actually referenced, I can't remember the exact terms, but it was referencing that it was going through a narrow passage, essentially. Which, okay, so there could be ice there. What if there's narrow passages that go out? Makes a lot of sense, right?
Read the Iron Republic. It's all about that.
Yeah.
Anyone hasn't read the Iron Republic, and if you don't read on if you just go on my website or the app and search Iron Republic, there's a audio video of it that you can find, and it's read to you, so you can while you're traveling. It's an awesome book. I've listened to it several times.
I was actually watching your
I'm gonna check it out.
You know the
Iron
video.
Republic.
You know the video you made, Dave, of the Tesla coil thing you have.
Well, I made a bunch. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like a podcast you did or whatever on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you reckon it's worth?
Get out of the way.
Oh, take care, Daniel. See you, man. Yeah, you reckon that thing? It's really worth having, huh? You know what I've been doing is using my plasma ball as one of those essentially, because that's a Tesla coil.
You know what? That's not going to hurt. We actually, somebody who's involved with writing the information on these Tesla things, gave one to Autodidactic. Do you know who Autodidactic is?
No.
He's a Tartarian old world truther. Old World Tartaria. He's on. His name's Campbell. Autodidactic. He we set him up with one, and he's in Australia. I don't know where he is. He might be near you. Australia's not that big, right?
Oh, it's pretty big.
Near each other.
It's pretty big.
The same size as mainland US. So you know.
I reckon it's bigger. I reckon it's bigger.
A lot less people, though. A hell of a lot less people. Same size.
It's just because we sent criminals there to build those old buildings.
Yeah, with horse and buggy.
After they used America, so just check your history books out, mate. All right. They used the US as a dump for a while as well.
Hey, just a heads up, the app, I'm testing it this weekend. On Monday is going to have a major upgrade. The matchmaker, it's going to have 3 categories: friends, romance, and professional. So if you go in there, you set up your profile and say, hey, I have a landscaping business, I'm a dentist, I have a convenience store, I have a pizza shop. And when anyone is in your area, they can search, hey, I want to go for pizza. There's 600 pizza places. Which one do I go to? Well, one of them's owned by a flat earther. Guess which one you're going to go to? Hey, I need a landscaper. There's all these landscaping companies. This one's owned by a flat earther. Guess who they're going to call? Right? It's absolutely going to be amazing. Hopefully it'll launch on Monday. You'll know it when you open up your app and a big pop-up comes up and tells you to update the app.
So you're not making a separate one, you're upgrading the original?
No. Well, it's moving the database and it's going to merge it with the website, so people can also do it from the website and go on there and and do it on a big computer. A lot of people complain it's hard to type a lot of information on a phone. People, their eyes are going, they don't have a phone, so it's all merging with the phone. So it's going to be absolutely incredible. The new messenger, it's going to work just like iMessage. And that way, the problem currently is people get messages on the app and then they don't check their app for 6 months. They don't check the messages because we have too many things to check. This one will send you a push notification. It'll send you an email. Hey, Angel's reaching out to you and said this, and you can see it, click on it, reply in one click, make it super easy. It's awesome. I put a lot of time and a lot of money into it, but everyone's going to love it. It's going to be fantastic.
Sounds good. Viewing.
Jake's in the comments going, God, what an effing joke. And he's going, yeah, Dave's good. Perhaps he wants to come up.
Yeah, we'll bring him up.
This globe math. Yeah, I don't know about that.
So, viewing, what's up, man? Do you believe the Earth's a globe? Viewing? Nope, he's not there. All right, let's invite Jake up so he stops crying.
You want to kick me, please? I'm sick of talking. My throat's killing me.
Jeff, feel better, man.
No worries, Jeff. Jake,
thanks, Dave. Bye.
Drink some salt water.
Yeah, after I saw your podcast, I was already drinking salt water, but I literally went up and got distilled water with salt in it.
Yeah, I take a spoonful every morning and every night.
Yeah. What's up, Truth Repeater?
What's happening there, Angels? Good show, buddy.
You want to add something, bud?
No, just wanted to tell you, good show, man. It's always fun to hear you, and more so the globe arguments or lack thereof. So,
yeah, I'm telling you, it's getting harder and harder to find opposition. It's crazy. I couldn't believe it. Typically, my only opposition today was that doctor guy that came up that said he needed to go to bed. That was it.
Yeah, pretty exciting. Angels, it seems like the more time passes, the less exciting opponents we get.
Yeah, I mean, what I think is happening is, this flat Earth lives that are going on. They come up, they get flat smacked, and they never come back. I think that's happening over and over, and this is why it's becoming so hard to find opposition here, because it's like they have nothing. They have nothing. And especially when they come up and really just get beat down, right, that they don't want to come back.
They start flailing on Angels Live. Yeah, they just tuck tail and run.
What's up, Jake? You want to talk about Haverside and how it uses a globe?
You want to talk about measuring angles to the stars from a flat baseline?
Yeah, you think that proves a globe, Jake? It's teacup. He's recording.
Sorry, I'm back.
Are you recording? Got your recording on?
No, I'm not. I hit my power button on my phone.
So how does measuring angles to stars prove the Earth's a globe exactly when they assume the Earth to be flat for that?
I mean, we assume the Earth to be a globe. We know it's a globe. It's been known.
You
So
didn't
we
address what I
assumed
said.
it, and that way, therefore, we know it.
Well, how come when they measure star angles, they're assuming a flat Earth? Well, if it's a globe, why are they assuming a flat Earth?
Who assumes a flat Earth?
Every measurement ever done to stars assumes the Earth is flat.
All right. Can you explain neutrinos?
Neutrinos? What? So we're pivoting off the thing you wanted to talk about?
Oh, I never mentioned stars.
Have you ever seen a neutrino?
How does Dave's app prove a globe exactly? You said Dave's app uses globe math. What globe math?
To connect people across the world using satellites.
Satellites?
My app does not use satellites.
Then how are you connecting people across the world?
Through the GPS, the ground positioning system. It puts them on the land where they are using triangulation with non-moving objects. Your cell phone, when you lose your cell phone and you're looking for it with another cell phone and you're using the GPS, is that using satellites or is it using the local towers around you?
It's probably using local towers.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
So therefore,
for other things as well.
The Flat Earth. You believe that, and there are things in the sky that are transmitting. A lot of them are airplanes with satellite equipment on them, if you want to call it that. But cell towers need to be plugged into the grid, right? If you unplugged all the cell towers, would you have any cell service?
Cell service, no, but you can use a satellite phone.
Well, hold on a second. So if the cell towers are unplugged, they wouldn't work, but they use a lot of power. Where do these little tin cans that are floating in a spice violation vacuum that has 500 degrees swings in temperature every 20 minutes, where do they get their power from? If you say the solar panel, I'm not going to be able to stop laughing.
Well, you better start laughing now.
Well, do you know anything about solar panels? Do you know how they work? I was in the solar panel industry for a long time, and there's no chance even a solar panel the size of your house could power one of those long enough for it to work. And with the temperature swings and stuff, there's no solar panel that can handle that.
Welcome to Flat Earth,
I'm
Jake.
sure they're not regular solar panels.
Well, they're special space solar panels.
The magical ones, Dave. The magical ones.
Yeah. We even with the highest, most efficiency theorized solar panel, it would not work. Now, if you took satellite equipment, the cell tower equipment, let's just call it satellite, the cell tower equipment, and put it in the belly of every commercial airplane, you'd have power source. You'd be able to service it. Kind of everywhere where people are, there's always a plane in the sky. It's only 5 or 7 miles up, not 350 miles up. And it would work 1,000 times better and cost a fraction of 1% of the cost.
Yeah, so Jake, are you going to concede that Dave's app doesn't use globe data at all?
No.
Where does it
Jake,
use
how
globe
old
data?
are you? How old are
I'm
you,
23.
Jake?
I'm 23.
All right. So I'm going to give you a break because your brain hasn't developed yet. I'm almost 3 times your age, and I've had a lot of time to brain development. You're fresh out of, you went to college, I assume, yes?
Yeah.
All right, so you're fresh out of full indoctrination from the Rockefellers Foundation, and you don't have any proof of the brainwashing that you've been told. You have no proof of the globe. There's no curvature. Right? Do balls have curvature no matter what the size? Spheres?
Are you... Sorry, say that again. You kind of cut out.
Does a sphere, which is a ball, a basketball, a ping pong ball, a yoga ball, or the globe, do they all have curvature?
Yes.
Okay, so how far on the globe? Do you know how big the globe is? What do you know the radius, the circumference of the globe? Your globe? It's okay if you didn't, because when I was asked, I didn't know.
I've heard it before. I can't say it off the top of
So
my
what?
head.
Do you know what the radius is? Do you know what the diameter is? Do you know how far it is from the sun? Do you know how they figured out how far it is from the sun? Do you know how big the sun is? You don't know any of that, right?
I mean, I know how far away the sun is, but
How far
for
away
like
is the sun? How far away is it? Without Googling.
around 93 million miles.
And how did they
depending on
figure that
the-
out? How did they figure that
How'd
out?
they get that number?
Using the using Venus to measure.
How did they get Venus's distance?
Wait, hold on. How did they use the Venus transit? That's actually good that you memorize that. But they used the Venus transit, assuming Venus was the same size as Earth. How did they figure out what size Venus was?
And distance. How did they get the distance to Venus and size? How did they get that?
Yeah. So these are all assumptions that your math magic is built on, that you've been brainwashed to be truth because it's in a textbook and you paid for the education. Therefore, it has to be true. But it's all nonsense. When you go outside and sit on the beach all day, what does the sun do? Does it move across the sky?
From our vantage point, yes. It looks.
So you
it
see the
appears it
sun
moves across the
move.
sky.
You see the sun move. So does that mean that you're spinning or the sun is moving?
It means that we are spinning.
So how do you?
We are
it means that
rotating
you're-
about the axis.
All right, does the sun look bigger than the Earth that you're sitting on? Just look. So you have no idea how far it is or how big it is. It's your first day on Earth. You look up. The sun looks small, right?
Correct.
Okay. So the sun moves across the sky, and you think that we're spinning and that the sun is 860,000 miles wide because you were told, versus your observation of the sun just moving across the sky.
I mean, I think the hundreds and hundreds of years of proof.
Well, give us one.
Makes me able to.
Yeah, give us one. Give us one. Do you want to bring up the one that you've been indoctrinated with? I'll tell you what it is. 2,000 years ago, the Greeks figured it out with sticks and shadows. Is that where you're going to go?
No, but I've heard you say that it's possible on a flat Earth.
Well, it's not that it's possible. It actually works better on a flat Earth. What hundreds of years? So name one thing. Was it the Bedford level that proved it to you? What hundreds of proofs?
How do you know
Name
the answer,
one,
Chloe?
and you win 3 Bitcoins.
Oh, here. I've heard the Bitcoin argument.
You've been listening for a while, and you're still clinging to your globe.
Yeah. I mean, I listen to all the flat Earth debates. I listen to a modern day debate with Angels and Dr. Blitz and Nathan.
Yeah, and he got absolutely cooked. Yeah, the one where he got absolutely cooked.
Go ahead. Let's hear your proof. Hold on, Jake. You're being very respectful. I appreciate you. Give us your best globe proof.
Ooh. I mean,
so many to choose from. Ooh.
Oh.
So many.
I would say.
There's too many to pick from. I can't pick
I
one.
follow Dr. Blitz quite a bit, and I've heard him talk about.
He's not
neutrinos,
proof. Give me your best.
through-
Wait.
Right,
Neutrinos.
okay, yeah. I'm
Have you
getting
ever
there,
seen?
I'm
Wait,
getting
let me
there.
ask you. Have you ever seen a neutrino?
No.
Right. So, do you believe in atoms and atomism and DNA? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all nonsense. It's all crap. On my website, scroll very down to the bottom. There's 4 videos there. The 4th one in a row, right at the bottom, is the DNA hoax. Watch that when you.
Yeah, so Jake,
Okay, so
if neutrinos come from the Earth itself, how did we know that it wasn't neutrinos from the Earth?
I mean,
There's supposed to
from
be
what?
billions. There's supposed to be billions of these neutrinos going through you right now from the Earth. So how do we know that the detection thing? How did they isolate that and prove it was from the sun? If we have millions of them passing through us right now, allegedly.
To the extent of my knowledge, the deep underground neutrino experiment, Illinois to Michigan, I believe.
I don't get it. No, you didn't answer the question. Hang on. How does a neutrino prove the Earth's a globe?
If they're even real.
Yeah, how does it prove a
Because we
globe?
shoot neutrinos through the Earth.
You shoot neutrinos
So
through
we
the
point
Earth, and then you
down.
detect it.
So
Yes.
let me ask you a question.
They come from the Earth.
Let's just pretend that there is a secret on Earth by the elite hiding the truth of flat Earth, and they're like, you know what? Let's make up this neutrino underground experiment that nobody can verify is real. But say experiments will predict how long they take to go through a globe, and then we'll come out with that same result. How do you know any of that is true? Do you think that somebody could just make that up and then put it out as a peer-reviewed scientific experiment?
I mean, of course,
Be honest.
that could happen.
Okay, so it's not proof of anything. What's your best proof of the globe? We have proof it's not a globe. Angel has an observation. He looked across the water where there should have been 60 meters or whatever of curvature, and there was none. So how do you explain that other than there's flat spots on the disco ball Earth?
Yeah, so this is me at 4.8 meters above sea level.
Make it bigger. Make it bigger. We don't need to see the type because nobody can read the type.
So this is me, across from... So I'm looking at Dramana Beach, 53 kilometers away from 4.8 meters above sea level. And I overlaid it with Google Earth just to make sure I'm seeing everything, which I am. And there should have been 160 meters of curvature in the way. So how am I seeing it?
I'm trying to squint in on that. Can you do big
So
bucks?
let me show you what he's seeing. You see those 3 pins on the land over there? Those 3 blue pins?
Yeah.
The middle pin is where the curvature all of that below the middle pin should be blocked by Earth curvature, but it's not. That's a significant amount. How many meters is that?
160 meters.
160 meters. You understand meters? Convert that into feet.
It's like 500 feet. It's like 500 feet, more than 500 feet.
500 feet. That's a 50-story building should be hidden, but we can see it.
Yeah, how can we see the shoreline?
Does that match a flat Earth or a globe Earth?
The way it was explained, probably a flat Earth.
There you go. So there's some evidence. So now it's your turn. Give us some globe evidence. That's scientific, repeatable, provable evidence. Now it's 1-0. Tie up the score, please, or we're going to declare a win.
Oh, I mean, you won't like this answer, but
I already don't like it.
Just the things I've been told. Oh no, indoctrination.
Wait, do you think
I
the
would
things
say
that you've
all
been
the-
told could not be true? Possibly? Do you think that anybody could lie to you? By the way, your teachers aren't lying. The way to become a teacher is to memorize and regurgitate what the Rockefellers want you to know. Then when you get a certificate that qualifies you to teach it to other people.
Right. I'm just wondering why so many scientists haven't come out and said the Earth is flat.
Lots have, and you just don't hear about them. There's plenty. Go watch our interview, Angel and I, with the PhD. Right? Do you have my app yet? You've been watching enough stuff. You go on my app and search. Just search PhD. It'll come right up.
Yeah, type in The Way of the Will of John, Flat Earth Debate, and you'll see me and Dave go up against a PhD who basically was so honest that he just had to agree with us.
And there's so many that don't know, but there's plenty that do know, and the ones that have spoken out, they're all defunded. So it's like if you're, they get fired, right? Pilots, when they admit it, they get grounded and fired. And there's many examples of that. We have tons of military, tons of commercial pilots. They're all telling us it's absolutely flat. There's no possible way it's a spinning ball.
Jake, why would all of aviation treat the Earth flat and stationary?
Because you
Earth's so big.
Maintain a constant altitude.
Earth's so big.
Maintain a constant altitude. So, Jake, if you maintain a constant altitude above a flat Earth, is that the same thing?
Yes, technically, yeah.
So everything we're still waiting. It's still 1-0, by the way. We need
technically,
proof to tie up the.
Dave, technically now it's 2-0 because he just admitted that flight works on a flat Earth. So unless you can prove it works on a globe,
No. That's not. Don't take that as a point, Angel. We have to have a rock solid point. That's just that could work on both if he's right. So what can't work on both is your observation. So go ahead, Jake. Hit us with a globe proof. I want to tie the score up. And it's like basketball. If you get a point, we'll let you go again, and then it'll be 2-1.
Right. I would love an explanation of gravity.
All right, so that's not proof of a globe, but we'll give you an explanation if you like.
Yeah,
Hey, that's not proof of a globe. When we give you the explanation, we're going to take the point, okay? You okay with that?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Angel. You want to hit him with a quick one, or you want me to do it?
I mean, so a helium balloon is not an anti-gravity device. It's just less dense than the medium it's in, so it seeks equilibrium up the opposite way. Anything that's more dense than the medium, like a rock, will fall down towards the Earth to seek equilibrium to the more dense thing. So if we drop an apple, right, it goes through the air because it's seeking equilibrium, And if that apple drops in water, it'll float on the water because it's less dense than the water. We have an electrostatic gradient in the atmosphere constantly discharging towards the Earth, creating a small downward bias, but the force of buoyancy supersedes that to determine directionality. Things seek equilibrium.
So that with all of that, it all makes a lot of sense. But the question you still have is, why doesn't it go sideways or up or down? What makes it go down? And we live in an electrostatic world. The Earth is a neutral or negative charge, and the sky is a positive charge. These aren't theories; these are actually testable. If you only have one charge somewhere, energy is erratic. It's not smooth. It'll be like the Blair Witch Project. But when you have a positive and a negative, there is an even flow of energy. There is a downward bias of energy coming from the sky into the Earth. Everything's electrostatic. So we can take things that are neutrally buoyant and we can add like we had a helium balloon floating just above the floor with holding something, and we can add more positive charge to it and it'll go down. So we manipulated the electrostatic charge of something and it'll go down, and we can put a negative charge into something and it'll go up, right? There's the XRT-3B triangle aircraft. Look it up. It lifts and propels itself with electrostatics. It's not anti-gravity, it's electrostatic. The MIT has the silent drone. There's no moving parts. It just uses electrostatics. There it is. There's the balloons. So there it is, hovering above the floor. That wire goes to a Van de Graaff generator. We're adding a negative charge to it. No, positive charge, a higher positive charge. When we add that positive charge, which should be coming right about now, and as we add the charge, it goes down. Because the floor is not going to come up. The floor is not moving. And then when we discharge, it goes up. Right? So we just manipulated independent variable, scientific method. Things go up and down with electrostatics. Can you now do a scientific experiment with gravity? Can you bring me something like 5 gallons of helium with just gravity and not a container?
No. The Earth is just...
Okay. All right, so it's 2-0 now. Would you like to try again?
The thing for me is there's so many flat earthers, and it seems that no one can really agree on a model or
because we're not in a cult.
or the
We're not in a
radius
cult.
or the height.
Yeah, we're not in a cult. You can't even agree on your globe, right? The globe doesn't even have a working map. Right? At least our map works, and it's what airplanes use, and it's what war planning uses and stuff. They don't use a globe. No pilot ever brings a globe into the cockpit.
Yeah. Jake, do you take it? Do you think that the gravity that you believe in is that a force?
Is it a force?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
So here we go. So why didn't you agree with Sean M. Carroll, who says gravity is not a force but a feature of space-time? Why didn't you agree with him? He's a Globie.
Right. With who? I'm sorry.
Sean M. Carroll on the left there. He wrote a book called Space-Time Geometry where he talks about gravity not being a force but a feature of space-time. Why didn't you agree with him? Why didn't you agree with Michio Kaku, who says gravity's not a force, but he's saying the same thing. It doesn't suck. It doesn't pull anything down, and space pushes you down.
Jake, I want to give you a little bit of credit here, because when somebody argues a point that you believe 100% in your mind, you usually revert to the age when you were taught that, and that's age 5, and you're not acting like a 5-year-old right now. You're close to like an 8 or 9-year-old. But I'm confident that you have enough information that if you really wanted to find the truth, which is going to be very painful for you at first, because you're going to realize that that certificate you got, that diploma that you spent all that money on, is absolutely nonsense. Okay? Now, college, let me tell you something. Did you have a good time in college? You make some friends?
Yeah, a couple,
Okay, well, that's what college. That's the most important thing in college, is making some friends, making relationships. It has nothing to do with the garbage, the slave math that they teach you. They don't teach you vortex mathematics in college, did they? Did they teach you sacred geometry? No, they taught you managerial accounting, so you can be a good little slave for their corporate system.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Have you been to my website, Jake?
One thing I wanted to add to
I have not been to your website.
So flatearthdave.com, write it down, go there and just look for the crash course. Scroll down a little bit, crash course, and instead of watching Netflix tonight, watch 1, 2, 3, or all of those videos and you will then understand what a joke this world is.
Yeah, absolutely, Jake. And one thing I wanted to say, because I noticed this from the beginning, I just didn't want to say anything until I got the confirmation statement from yourself. And it sounds like you rely a lot upon consensus or the majority believing something, so it has to be true. Well, we can talk about simple ideas like cigarettes being told to people that they're healthy. That was a consensus statement. So if we were just to go back 50, 60 years ago and just listen to the consensual statements being told back then hey, we should all just be smoking cigarettes here, Jake.
They had commercials on TV with doctors in lab coats smoking cigarettes, ads everywhere, every magazine. Doctors smoke. I prefer Camel. It's good for you. Right? It's incredible.
Right,
Yeah.
but the more research done proved that they were bad for us, and I think the
Earth is
100
flat.
years-
We've done the research.
Yeah, we've done the research. That's flat.
It's 2-1. Do you have a globe proof? You're going to be shut out. It's going to be 3-1, and we're going to have to call it a day.
Yeah, so Jake, I went out and proved the Earth was flat. So there has been more research.
And by the way, globe proof doesn't start with on a flat Earth. How does? But that you're allowed to ask those questions, but that's not how a globe proof starts. It should be on a globe. This is, on a globe, a 6-foot observer shouldn't be able to see the surface of the water beyond 3 miles, and I can only see 3 miles. But then we'll show you another video where we can see 20 miles. Right?
Yep. So Jake, what's your next best globe evidence?
The first one, please. Jake, you sound like you're really at the edge of waking up to reality. I hope that you power through this and don't freaking give up.
I mean, just from everything. I mean, you're familiar with Simon Dan. I'm sure.
Do you mean if you were watching him, you're brainwashed? He's never made a valid point on anything. That's not what a globe proof starts with. Start with a globe proof. Give me your own. Don't listen to anti-flat Earth.
But Dave, but Dave, even if he does, go ahead. How did Simon Dan prove it was a globe?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I've just seen him watch Flat Earth Dave talk about his app, but I mean the
Jake.
Satellite
So
thing.
I guess wait. So wait, Jake, you were in the comments and said Dave's app uses globe, whatever, right? And we came up and proved to you that was wrong. Was Simon Dan lying?
I couldn't tell you.
Was he right?
I'm not sure what he did.
Was he
I'm not
right?
sure what he did to.
How does triangulation from towers on the ground prove a globe exactly?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, so he lied.
So Jake, you're believing things. Here's the thing. In this world, we do have to trust and believe, because we wouldn't be able to go out of our house if we didn't trust and believe. I believe there's no mountain lions outside my house. I trust that no one's released a mountain lion, and I'm going to go outside. Now I'm driving down the road. I do believe that around that blind corner, there is more road there. There's not a hole that I'm going to fall into, and I can drive around the corner. But if I had to verify everything, I wouldn't be able to get out of my driveway. Right? But you're just listening to people that talk with accents and talk confidently and believing their absolute nonsense. Right? It's absolute total nonsense. Go watch the Flat Earth, the crash course videos on my website. Google will never feed you any of those, even if you search for them. You will never see those videos. Watch them and don't believe them. Verify everything that you see in them.
Hey Jake, is that a solar eclipse in your image there?
No, that's
the impossible eclipse.
No. In your image, you don't even know what that picture is. That's from the Artemis mission.
Oh, you're talking about my profile picture?
Yeah, that's the Artemis mission when they had a solar eclipse with the moon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so think about this. Why do we have a total solar eclipse on Earth, right? Because the moon appears to be the same size as the sun, and it goes in front, and then we get the little ring of fire. We get the glow around the outside, like you see on yours, right?
Yeah.
But they were only 4,000 miles from the moon. So the solar eclipse would have been the moon is a yoga ball, and the sun is a BB. How do you have that ring of fire going all around the outside? You're teacupping.
I mean,
Oh, your picture
I
went
mean,
away.
sorry.
That's all right.
I mean, the sun is obviously very, very bright, very luminous. And
How
I'm
is
not
it?
sure
How is
what.
a BB? How is the light from a BB-sized sun, emanating around the outside of a yoga ball, and there's no atmosphere to disperse the light?
Right. So, like I was
You
saying,
haven't.
the sun is very, very bright. And I don't know if you'll like this answer, but I believe there is an atmosphere on the moon. Obviously, it's nothing compared to Earth's, but I think
Do
there
you believe
is
that?
a slight. Yeah, I think there is a slight atmosphere, and so a very, very, very bright object, even if it's smaller, the perspective of it, I think it would create that ring of fire, as you said,
Jake,
around the moon.
Do you know what?
So, Jake, you just made that up to defend your position because you have such 100% belief that that's a real photo. Therefore, you'll make up something and actually believe it yourself. That's how the
I mean,
human
you
mind
can-
works.
You can take a flashlight and a yoga ball and do the same thing.
No, you can't.
You can't.
No.
In a vacuum? Try it in a vacuum. I don't think you'll be able to do it. Anyway, Jake, how do you have an atmosphere on Earth adjacent next to a vacuum without it equalizing?
Because get this, gravity. I believe
Alright.
it pulls in the atmosphere.
Okay,
and
so
we do
what-
lose some of the atmosphere to the vacuum all the time.
So hold on. You were told that by people you don't never met. So here, he's showing you this. How come the gravity isn't holding that gas down? When he opens the valve, it goes right up. Boop. Goes up.
I have seen this.
So you've seen it. So why are you still arguing that gravity can hold the air down?
I believe it's a very different
What's different about
environment.
What's different about it?
You believe.
Is science scalable?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's different about it?
I think the container that it's in is not producing its own gravity to hold all that gas in.
The container doesn't. The Earth is underneath it. The gravity is there. We're right next to the Earth. The gravity's not turned off. Did you turn the gravity off before you did that, Angel?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how, but I must have.
Right, but I think that could also demonstrate some of the atmosphere leaking into the vacuum of space.
You know, the atmosphere leaking. Why does it leak? What's it leaking through? Are there cracks in the?
Well, I mean,
how would it leak? Why wouldn't it all go violently?
I meant it disperses. It's not a hard barrier.
So how about this? You're saying the gas that's non-contained is leaking. Now we're saying the Earth is contained. And what if, Angel? What if on a flat Earth there was some gas leaking through the firmament? There was some cracks. So that's not even exclusive to your globe, which you're saying it's leaking through nothingness. We're saying, well, if it is leaking, it could be leaking through the firmament just a little bit.
So Jake, if I punch a hole in a tire that's about let's say 1 inch thick, does it leak out, or does it violently go out?
Violently goes out.
Okay, and there's essentially all there is there's a massive hole out there. Why would it leak out? If entropy happens instantly, why would it leak? Why would it go slowly?
I mean, like I had mentioned, I believe that gravity holds most of it in.
You believe that, but we just
weaker
disproved
and
that. So
weaker as you
Yeah, you believe something that we just proved isn't true. So
you
you got to get rid of that belief.
firmament protects us from the waters above.
Hang on. Does this gas, right? Did it go up, or did gravity keep it down?
Went up.
Okay, so then gravity doesn't affect gas molecules and prevent them from seeking vacuums, then, correct?
I believe it does.
It does.
You
but
believe it does,
You
but we
believe it
just showed
does,
you
but
that
it doesn't.
It does, but it doesn't.
It does, but it doesn't.
Our Earth's so big. This is small. The Earth is still there. Actually, with this small amount of gas, using the Earth, it should hold it even more.
It's only a small amount of gas. Yeah, I should keep that down more.
Yeah.
Hey, Jake. If I have a 500-ton object, does it fall to the ground?
Yes.
Why are clouds floating if they weigh 500 tons?
Why or what? I'm sorry.
Clouds.
Oh, because it's not a solid object.
So gravity picks and chooses what it wants to pull down?
I mean, the cloud isn't one solid. It's not
So
like a
gravity is
building
not
instead.
holding the non-solid object that weighs more than regular air. It's not pulling that down. Does a moist air air molecule weigh more than a dry air molecule?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's
okay. So why is 500 million pounds or whatever of clouds floating in the sky?
because it's not one solid object.
So
I mean, when
so
it all
is the
comes
atmosphere
together, of
one
course it
solid
rains.
object? Is the atmosphere one solid object?
No.
Oh,
Right,
why
so
is
why
that
does
big?
it go off into the vacuum of space?
Yeah, why doesn't that go up? What, Jake? What's happening? What's happening is Jake? Is you getting pretty much flat smack left, right, and center now?
But listen, I want to give Jake another prop. At least when you ask him these simple questions, he's being honest and giving you the answer. Most of these Globies will just deny everything, even when it's showed in their face. So
Yeah, like Jake, you know how many people I've shown that shoreline Dramana, right? And they're like, "No, that's not a shoreline." At least you're honest enough to be like, "Okay, yeah, that's a shoreline." So at least you're honest.
yeah,
You're
I'll
actually
give you
honest.
that. Jake, the crash course, please go watch the first 3 videos, then watch the 4th one, then watch the 5th one. It's better than Netflix. Watch it, educate yourself. Don't occupy your mind with nonsense. Use your mind to create your reality.
Because at the end of the day, Jake, if you're watching Simon Dan and stuff, wouldn't you want to you would need to know the argument? You need to study both sides, don't you?
Yeah, only people that have no idea about the globe listen to him and think he's smart. It's once you understand what he's saying, it's total garbage.
Yeah, like he did a video
it's so
on me.
Gross.
It's so bad because he did a video responding to me once, and it was like, I'm watching it, and it's like, okay, but he's just pretty much just laughing at me. He's not actually addressing what I'm saying. He didn't address anything. He didn't actually address anything. He said, "Oh, look, Angels thinks that Ball's law applies to the universe." It's like, yeah, it does.
But Angels, that works on low-minded people, and the world is filled with low-minded people. If somebody points and laughs, you'd rather than try to understand what they're laughing at, you just point and laugh also and go, "Yeah, man, he knows. It's funny." Yeah,
it's
man.
like, but how was I wrong?
Jake, where do you live? You're in the U.S. What state do you live in?
Colorado.
Beautiful.
Sorry, I requested up when I heard the word gravity. I got excited. So I was going to give a bit of a treatise on that, and yeah.
Did gravity heal your cold? Did it? It's magical like that.
Well, I didn't heal it, but it got me excited somewhat. But yeah, Jake,
gravity holds everything together, but is also the cause for everything to move.
Yeah,
it's also the cause for everything to destroy itself if you take it to the nth degree. So gravity makes absolutely no sense.
And also they ask us why things fall down, but they believe gravity pulls things sideways too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, like water and a river, it pulls down and sideways.
But in the air and the ISS.
Well, I suppose I'm certainly not going to go into a long spiel because it's not the time. But
I'm going to take the over on that. I'm going to say you are.
I'm going to give the 3-minute treatise here, not the 30-minute one.
Jake, listen carefully. Jeffrey's a really smart guy. Listen about gravity. You're going to learn something, and so am I. Go ahead, Jeffrey.
So, Jake, you know that originally there was a man by the name of Newton in 1666. So he put forward the idea of gravity, which originally comes from the Latin gravitas, which means weight, for the explanation of why things move. And then it was 1927 that a man by the name of Georges Lemaitre, a Belgian, probably Jesuit Catholic priest, put forward the idea of the other half, which is inertia. So basically, you got to have speed on the x-axis that encounters the y-axis gravitational force of a body of larger mass. That's how orbits work. But anyway, they changed it, as you know. They changed it in 1887. There was the Michelson-Morley experiment, and basically, as a result of that, they either had to say, "Look, the Earth doesn't move," and since Einstein's statement is that everything moves, everything is in relative motion. They couldn't do that. So they basically said, look, we've either got a choice of throwing out the luminiferous ether, which was the presupposed component as far as the movement of the Earth through the luminiferous ether, or we throw out the idea that the Earth moves. They couldn't do that. So they said there's no luminiferous ether. The greatest irony of that is until about the 20s when they came up with quantum fields, and at the same time they also had Hubble coming up with the idea of expansion. What happened was, excuse me. Until the 20s, they basically said that light and other, which is an electromagnetic entity, and other entities, electromagnetic entities, move through nothing. They literally said it moved through nothing, and I just can't understand how stupid that is, right? But then they come up with quantum fields. So they said that quantum fields are omnipresent. They're everywhere in the universe. They're on Earth, they're in space, and they actually allow for the propagation of electromagnetics. So basically they threw out the ether, or the luminiferous ether, which allowed for the propagation of electromagnetics, went to nothing, and then went to their own type of ether, which allowed for the propagation of electromagnetics. You can't make this shit up, right? And they did that in the 20s. But there are competing ideas. There's always been competing ideas. And I suppose the best evidence of gravity not really being true is this. Is that if you can isolate and manipulate something, that's part of the scientific paradigm. So it has to be observable, testable, repeatable. And when you test it, you have to isolate and manipulate the supposed causal factor, all right? So that's not been done with gravity. But it has been done with electrostatics, for instance. I think Dave was showing you one before. So you can take electrostatics, isolate it, and manipulate it, and reverse it, and you can actually get electrostatic levitation, right? Right. You can get an upwards bias rather than the downwards. So if you've reversed that and got an upwards bias, what's the logical extension of that? That in its natural state, it's creating some of the downwards bias, right? I can't say that means it's creating all of it, but I can, by logical extension, say that it's creating some of the downwards vector, right? Because I isolated, manipulated, and reversed it, which went upwards, which means in its natural state, it's naturally going downwards. So the other thing is that it wasn't until the 43 that they really did away with the ether. They did it in 1887, but there was Michelson-Morley, Michelson-Gale, Dayton Miller, who did hundreds of experiments, I think even thousands, and basically got differential readings and stuff. I won't go into that in detail. And then they had Sagnac in 1913, and that's still referred to as a phenomenon today. So Sagnac basically proved the ether in 1913. So it wasn't really thrown out in 1887. It was thrown out by, Einstein and his handlers, if you will. But they were still experimenting on it until 1913. And a brilliant mind, and I'm sure you know him, Nikola Tesla, said that it was basically what gravity was a secondary manifestation of electromagnetics relative to the ether and resonance. Pretty cool dude, right? And he was the one working in like 0-point energy. So there are competing ideas, and he died in 43. So he believed in the ether and believed that Einstein was basically, like a freak. Einstein himself even gave a quote that magic's the most important thing, which is some dumbass shit for a scientist to say, right? And just last year, two physicists, Ruth Kastner and Andreas Schlatter, came up with the idea that it is basically an emergent property of electromagnetics on the quantum scale. So if you don't know this, basically they went from Newtonian to Einsteinian because it didn't account for all the different factors. They then went from Einsteinian in part to quantum because the first two didn't account for all the micro manifestations of gravitational force. So there are multiple people, that are globists. The idea that Tesla was a glober or a flat earther is not, I'm not going to say that either way. But he did believe in the ether, and Andreas Schlatter and Ruth Kastner last year, who are mainstream physicists, gave that idea that it's an emergent property of electromagnetics on the quantum scale. All right, that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, your own paradigm of gravity is just complete garbage. It's not been proven, isolated, manipulated. So I don't know why people believe in it. I don't know why people ask me. Go ahead.
Jake, it's 2-0. Do you have a globe proof for us yet?
I was just gonna say I'll be honest. I do regurgitate what I've heard, from everyone, and I've heard both sides. I watch Angels of Light. I used to watch Stage, and I've heard the interviews and whatnot. It just makes more sense to me for a globe Earth rather than a flat Earth.
So, name one thing. Name one thing that makes more sense on a globe.
I don't think I've heard you explain this, but I would say the 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
Oh yeah, I could share that. Yeah, I got a slide for that. Yeah.
Did I mention too that Newton was a proponent of Hermes Trismegistus, the pagan god of alchemy? So basically, you're the person that put forward the idea of gravity was a warlock. He was a male witch. Interesting man, and they called him Sir Isaac Newton. So apparently you become Sir when you become a witch. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, so anyway, Jake, this is a straight up begging the question fallacy. Because you're saying, oh, there's a 24-hour sun, but you haven't proven that the Earth's spinning, you haven't proven it's orbiting, you haven't proven it's curved. But then you're telling us that the globe that you haven't proved is doing something, right? But anyway, it's been done on a small scale model. So this is inside of a dome on the top here, with the north, south, east, west, and obviously we're facing south. Now that's a little sun there that's going to appear to go counterclockwise, or the opposite rotation, because it's basically a reflection. So we have a big light on the outside going around the dome like this, and basically it creates a reflection of that in the south that kind of rotates. Now if you move
that lower light that you're seeing circle there in the opposite direction, that's the 24-hour southern sun.
Yeah. So basically, and the reason why it works interestingly is because when you move, because it's a reflection, it actually follows you as you move. It's an apparent rotation effect. So that's on this bottom image here. You can see that we have one star field being projected up and into the dome, but we have two apparent ones, one in the south, one in the north. So it's very interesting.
And by the way, it's only been filmed once. By a very sketchy group of a very sketchy guy who led this trip there. I think there was a lot of deception there. But if you go to my website, go to the find, the search feature, and just search the failed experiments, and watch that video and ask yourself, can I trust anything that this guy tells me?
Didn't he invite you to go on the trip?
Yeah, he did. That. The whole thing was designed for me. And I saw through the deception. And the thing is, I used to say, a 24-hour sun in Antarctica would disprove flat Earth. But that's before I realized what the sun wasn't. It's not, the sun that we see is not a physical object. It is an apparent object in the sky. It's a light in the sky. So for me to actually say that was really dumb on my part, because if you want to say that the movement of a light in the sky determines the shape of the Earth that we physically measured, first, you have to understand what that light is. Well, we're told it's helium and hydrogen. Both helium and hydrogen defy gravity on Earth and fill the available space violently. But in outer space, helium and hydrogen collapse upon themselves, become so massive that they can hold on to Pluto and Jupiter and Earth and everything. But the gravity is very selective because it doesn't rip our moon away from the Earth. You have to believe in Narnia on steroids to say, all right, now that proves the shape of the Earth. It has nothing to do with the shape of the Earth. It just tells us how well we understand the sky. And we do not understand the sky.
At the end of the day, I live in the south and I proved the water was flat. I proved the ocean was flat. So whatever's happening in the sky is a separate system to the Earth.
That light in the sky cannot be helium and hydrogen that burns, or nuclear furnace, or whatever you want to say, for billions of years. You know what they say? The sun uses 640 billion tons of fuel. I think it's every hour or every day or whatever. But the number 640 billion tons every day for billions of years and never gets any smaller. It holds on to things perfectly. The three body... Oh, Jeff, don't get excited. Relax. Stay on mute, Jeff. The three body problem.
Gravity body problem together, and gravity tears everything apart. Yeah, that one.
Do you know what the three body problem is, Jake?
Yeah.
Okay, so just looking at that this doesn't prove flat Earth. It disproves the heliocentric model 100%. So You like to regurgitate what you're told. You like to believe. I like to believe what I'm told too, but I've learned better.
Yeah, wasn't it
and Jake,
proven?
real quick,
Wasn't it like disproven and then proven again? The three-body problem.
Jake, if you don't mind, I have to leave and go into work, so I just want to say this last thing and wish you guys a farewell. Listen, everything that we deal with in this realm and within science is observable, repeatable, experimental, and demonstratable. Okay? Nothing that I have to do within this environment that I live in, I don't have to believe in anything. I just have to go out, observe it, start thinking about what it's doing, start experimenting with it. Everything is tangible. Start observing, start testing the things that were told to you. That's all, Jake. I wish you a farewell. Thank you for coming up, man. You have been a great conversation. And Angels, same with you, buddy. Flat Earth Dave and Jeffrey, you guys have a wonderful day.
See ya, man.
Take care, man. See ya.
Cheers.
I've got a question for you, Jake, as well. Like, would you agree that if the sun was smaller and local, if it set, it would change size? You could actually film it changing size if it was local.
I have heard this before. I think you guys debated it with Nathan and Dr. Blitz, I think.
Yeah, Blitz said I faked it. Yeah, Blitz said I faked it. So, provided my time lapse of the sun wasn't faked, can the sun change size on a globe?
From what I know, I don't believe so. I think it changes like a percent, like a very small
not even,
amount. I think
not even. It's less than a percent.
It's too far away.
Yeah, so I got 23%, and I could show you time lapses from other Globies who got more than me even. So, I mean, and I'm not faking this. Like, literally, like, why would I go out of my way to fake being a flat earther, doing all these lives as a fake flat? Like, that's just stupid, right? That's just a cop out.
It's for the grift. You know how much money you're going to get for this live stream? You're going to get probably $2 to $3.
So far I've gotten $1.80, and half of that goes to TikTok. So yeah, wow. So Jake, what you're seeing on screen there is a real time lapse I did with my camera with a solar filter, ND1 million. That's actually a really powerful solar filter. There's no glare there. How does the sun change size, dude?
I think it's atmospheric refraction.
Atmospheric refraction.
Lensing.
Oh, lensing.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It should get it. It should. That's not an answer.
So the sun does change size now. So it does. So it does, but it doesn't again, right? So now it does change size because of lensing.
I think they're...
Jake, when you look through a magnifying glass, do things get bigger or smaller? You know, lensing is the opposite to what you should say, right?
Yeah.
Lensing would make the sun bigger.
Jake, one of the things that we were all brainwashed with is that light travels for billions and billions and billions of years. And so some of the stars we look at could be dead a billion years ago, but the light is just getting to us, right? That's a cool thought. I used to love that thought. I probably repeated it 1,000 times when telling people about space in my earlier years, right? But I don't know if you've seen my sun fade out video where the sun literally stops going. It disappears into the thickness of the clear air. It can't push through anymore. So that's very interesting. But the more interesting part about that, whether you want to say it's in focus or not, is the sun was going down, 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 down. And then when it gets to a certain point, it's not going down anymore. It's not going down anymore because prospectively, it just has gotten as far as it can go. It just sits there. If the Earth was spinning, it should keep on going down and disappear below the horizon, but it didn't. It sat there. So that 100% proves that we're not spinning. And it's just perspective, the sun going away.
I think my qualm with that video, I'm not accusing you of lying or anything, you know, but why don't we see that more often? If you capture
I'll tell you why. No, I'll tell you why.
Day,
I'll tell you why. I captured it 7 different times, and other people have captured it at sea level. The problem is it's much harder to get at sea level because the atmosphere, let's just say the atmosphere is 50,000 feet of atmosphere. Over 50 miles, 60 miles, or even less, the atmosphere becomes opaque. So the problem is, see right there, the video he's showing you, the sun kind of goes beyond that opaque atmosphere before it has time to fade out. So it has to be super clear, super dry. So I do it in the winter. I have to do it facing west because west is over the land for me. And now because you can't overwater, there's just too much moisture, and it has to be super clear, super cold. So my dome was up. It was 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm freezing my fingers off, and you have to warm up the batteries, and then you have to keep filming it when you don't even see it anymore.
Yeah, but Jake,
Who's
think about
gonna
this,
do that
right?
except a crazy flat earther.
But think about this, Jake. On a globe Earth, the sun and moon set because they go below the curvature of the Earth, correct?
You said the sun and moon?
Sun and moon set because they go below curve, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we ever get the sun and moon ever fading out even once then, above the horizon?
Like I said, I've only seen that one video.
Here's the moon doing it. Here's the moon.
If you just go to the video search and search sun fade out, there's 7 videos with it.
How do we get it even once? Even one time would debunk the globe. How do we ever get that?
Dan, no, hold that picture. That's the top picture. You see how right there where the sun is that the sun?
This one's the moon. This one's the moon.
Okay, the moon. Do you see the white line though in the distance? That's because we're looking through so much atmosphere. That's the opaque atmosphere, and it's just going beyond it. Just like when you're standing next to, there's a tree line, and you watch the sun go beyond the trees. It's not going below the trees; it's going beyond them, and it disappears from the bottom up. So that horizon line there, that's thousands of feet above your eye level, but the sun is above that, and it just disappears from the bottom up as it goes beyond it.
What's funny
is, correct me if I'm wrong, but do you guys say that the sun is outside of the firmament, and then there's something
Jake,
inside the firmament that looks
I'd say the sun we see with our own eyes is within our enclosed system. Whether that's being projected from outside, though, I don't know.
Same answer.
Okay.
Same for me as well.
Sorry, can you go like big box? I was trying to look at the video you were showing, but it's kind of small.
Which one?
Of the moon fading out.
Why are you going to that? Hey, Jake, look, when you ever use a magnifying glass and burn ants? Don't tell me you didn't. I know you did, right?
We all did. Come on.
Okay, thank you. So when you focus that point right on the anthill, it looks like a little sun. Now, if you lift that magnifying up a foot higher, you're not going to see that point anymore. But if you blew some steam or some smoke, you would see that point floating in the air. You would see that little point, and it would look just like a sun. Well, that's how I envision that the source of the sun is above the firmament, and it's being magnified through, and we all see it from our own angle, either on or under the firmament. Go to your question.
Yeah, look, we're not even going into what is given as accepted issues or contradictions in the globe paradigm. We're just giving you what's everyday observable. But
yeah,
about the Salinellian eclipse, about the Coleridge effects, all these other things. The different eclipses really don't make any sense on the globe. Have you looked into that?
The impossible eclipse, are you saying?
Yeah, the impossible eclipse, the Salinellian eclipse. And that name doesn't come from us, that comes from the globers.
I've heard it explained a couple times, but I couldn't tell you exactly.
Okay,
again.
well, we'll do that in a second. Do you know about the Coleridge effect?
The Coleridge effect?
Yeah.
You'll have to remind me. I've heard the name.
That's where it seems as if the moon is translucent, so you can see something like
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Right? Have you heard about the other one? That's called the moon tilt. What is it called? The moon tilt illusion. You heard about that one?
I don't believe so.
It was studied in, I think, 1914 in the University of Pennsylvania. So that's where the moon tilt illusion is, where you get the crescent moon on the exact opposite side of the moon to the sun. I make the joke, I call it the holy trinity of the globe. So I say, because gravity, but refraction, and the Earth is really big, which is scope, right? Because pretty much every single thing will come down to those three. But the moon tilt illusion, they don't use that. They can't. It's because it's 180 degrees from where it should be. They can't even try one of those three. What they say is your brain is playing a trick on you.
Yeah, Jake. What he's talking about is, you know how like we've got a phased moon, and the side that's lit up on the moon would face the sun, right? Well, me personally, and I wish I recorded this, but I wasn't exactly a flat earther yet, so I didn't even think to record it. Me personally in Australia, I've seen the sun here, and I've seen the moon here, but the phased part of the moon was on the opposite side. That's what he's talking about. You can't. How can you have the phased moon being pointed on the opposite side of the sun?
If the sun is, the only luminary and the moon is just reflecting, it's such an impossibility that they can't use their holy trinity. They have to say your brain's playing tricks.
Also, sometimes you can see the top of the phased moon. The phased part will be on top, and if the sun is setting, you're going to see the sun at eye level, but the top of the moon's lit up. That's also incorrect.
Let me point out one other thing about the moon. Jake, you know what the inverse square law of light is? The farther you are from a lit object, the dimmer it gets.
Yes, I've seen a video of you talking about this.
Yeah. So that's science. That's science. The farther you are from an object, the dimmer it gets. So next time you're out in a park or somewhere and you see one of those big cement ball sculptures, big cement ball, walk up next to it. Hopefully it's hot. It's close to noon. The sun is high in the sky. And look at it, and you can ask yourself, well, if the moon is what they say, this is shinier. This is more reflective. How come it's not shining light on your face and casting your shadow behind you? How come you can't read a book by the light that's bouncing off of the thing? But the moon, we can read a book. It does cast my shadow. So is the moon reflecting sunlight? You're standing right next to that rock ball, feet away. It should be brighter than bright. If you use the inverse square law with the brightness that we see the moon, and you get all the way to like 100 miles from the moon, it would be hundreds or thousands of times brighter than we see the sun from Earth. You can't even fathom what that means. Like nobody can even fathom what twice the brightness of the sun is. So all of this stuff. Let me tell you where you're at. I want to just tell you where you're at. You ever procrastinate about anything in your life? Like you got to mow the lawn or something. You ever procrastinate?
Yeah, of course.
You ever procrastinate by doing your homework? Like, I don't want to study for this test, right? Yeah. Because it takes effort, it takes time, and it's called procrastination. But you're hanging out in these flat earth lives so much, and you know so much already, you're procrastinating, putting the knowledge that you already have, the resources that you know where they already are. You're procrastinating doing that because it takes effort and time, and it could feel a little painful. Right? And it could alienate you from some friends, right? That's the number one thing. Socially, you'll be a pariah with people that are just ignorant. But you have to ask yourself, do you want to remain ignorant? Do you want to remain that way? Or do you want to expand your mind, free your mind from this nonsensical matrix?
I mean, of course, you want to know the truth and whatnot. I guess you could say I'm procrastinating doing all the experiments myself.
You don't have to do it. We did them for you. You can go look at them and learn them and see that they were done legitimately and talk about them. You can confirm them. We've documented them so well. On my app, in the More Resources page, there's an experiment section where all of the best experiments are. You can take the time and learn this stuff. Just start with the crash course. There's lots of good stuff in there.
Right. Yeah. You could also say that, you see all the Globers do their experiments and prove the globe, but then you guys always say that
we
have to do the
which one?
Can you show me one?
The research ourselves. So I was just saying,
but hold on.
To do the research myself.
What experiments have the Globers done that prove the globe? National Geographic did one where we caught them faking it. We caught them, they hit a helicopter behind the curve of water, but we showed that they faked it, that they literally
copy and pasted.
Copy and pasted. They're claiming that they're holding a flag across the water and the bottom stripes are gone. They're not. We can see the water beyond the boat, right? They're lying to you. We catch them lying with every experiment that they try to do. They lie about everything.
That one with the helicopter, Jake. Basically, they looked at the cloud formations, and they're meant to be hours apart.
I'll show you, Jake. I'll show you. I went through it myself even, and I did an overlay of before and after. And dude, even Globie. It was so bad that even Globies had to admit they faked it. There was Globies coming out saying, "Okay, yeah, guys, well, they faked it."
Well, they faked it just for television, but they're not scientists. They'll just make up excuses. the globe proofs are just excuses and nonsense and lies and straw mans. There's no globe proof. You say, well, the Globies have done their proofs. Well, show me one. There's not one. 3 Bitcoins, 1 globe proof. Go.
The proofs that I've given you, Jake, are globe proofs of globe issues that are given by globers, right? By the science of globers. So look up the moon tilt illusion, the Selenelian or impossible eclipse, as you said, the Coleridge effects. Look up the axis of evil problem or directionality of the CMBR. Look up the cosmological constant or vacuum catastrophe problem. They were out by 10 to the power 120. I mean, it's just so many. It's been patched so many times, changed so many times, and there's so many problems that still exist in the paradigm today that cannot be accounted for. They simply
Angel,
can't.
can you make that bigger?
Yes,
Can you make that bigger?
I want to try and make it huge to show him. Yeah, so Jake, this is from that. It was called Genius Stephen Hawking. I believe you can go and still watch it. And literally on the first episode in this scene, they faked the globe. So they're saying they're looking across from a lake with a telescope, and they're looking at this helicopter, and the helicopter goes down and it goes below the so-called curve, right? Except on the top image is when the helicopter was above, still going down. And this one is a shot taken afterwards. It's the same. Look at the waves in the water. It's exactly the same waves, exactly the same birds on the left there. They overlaid a fake helicopter and made it go below the curve, the supposed curve. Why would they? So this is where it's like really bad, right? Because it's like we catch them faking it once. Why would they ever need to fake it once?
And when they said, at this distance there would be X number of feet of curvature, and they're like, what height are you? And they're like, that's exactly when it disappeared. Well, they didn't take into account that the camera was elevated off the ground. So even if the Earth was curved, it wouldn't have disappeared at that same spot. So they didn't even do the math right. They totally lied.
They did it from. They're assuming. The Globies actually make fun of us for that, and they did it. They didn't even take the camera's height into account. We do that. We do that. In my observation, I took my height of the camera into account plus sea level. I did all that, right?
And we even give them their magical refraction.
Oh, Dave,
you want to add refraction there? We'll add that in, and it still proves flat Earth.
Dave, you know what makes it worse on this one? Did you know the people in the show were NASA employees, high ups in NASA?
Yeah. So the Kat Bobineau, she goes, I'm not a scientist, but, and she's just a normal everyday person. But then we have a video of her from a year earlier, like, I'm Kat Bobineau, I'm a scientist. You have that clip?
Yeah, and this lady here, Joy NG, or whatever her name was, she's a director at NASA.
Should have locked those mongrels up for that shit. They should have.
Mm-hmm. Here's the problem, Jake, that you have, that we all have. It's hard to imagine people lying. Like you seem like a good guy. You don't like I could never lie like that. How could people lie like that? There's a lot of evil in this world. A lot of people that are lying.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, the only people that have ever called me a liar in my life is anti-flat earthers on TikTok who I didn't know existed. I didn't know being an anti-flat earther was even a thing till I got on here. And because every time I prove it's flat, it's not that I proved it flat, it's that I'm lying.
Yeah, look, you can choose scientists from every field, and basically those scientists will walk in lockstep with the person handing out the paycheck. It happens all the time. You can look at the dietitian of the US, a man by the name of Ansel Keys. He was a piece of shite, that bloke, right? He basically put for look. I'm not going to go into, but look up Ansel Keys and the 7 nations or 7 countries study. He lied. He was probably paid off by Procter and Gamble, who paid off the AHA as well, the American Heart Association. You look into the smoking that was already mentioned. You look into the catastrophes every decade. So in the 60s, they were putting forward peak oil. We're going to run out of oil. Never happened. They put forward the idea the ice walls are going to melt. Never happens. They put forward the idea that there was a big hole in the ozone and that was going to turn to shit. Never happens. Like they follow the person giving them the cash, man. They don't give a shit about the truth.
Yeah. Also, Jake, this is straight. People don't know this, but you can actually go look at the pre-Artemis footage where they'll, there's this here, right? Why would anybody... Jake, are you telling me that you believe this stuff, dude? You believe that? That's real?
And what
Look how fake it looks. It's from Artemis mission, dude. Look how fake that looks. You think that's real?
Where can I find this?
It's not something I want to mention in detail.
NASA's website.
Wait, hold on, Jeffrey. Jake, don't you think that looks fake?
Come on,
yeah,
dude.
I don't.
All right, listen, Jake's too honest.
That is on NASA's website.
All right, he got you. Jake, that is fake, but it's actually better than what they showed us. It's actually better than what they showed us. It actually is. It actually looks more real than what they actually showed us.
Yeah, I made that joke.
Artemis 2 was fake?
Yeah, you can't.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No one goes into. There's no space.
I think I saw you and you guys were watching the live stream of the Artemis 2 launch. I forget his name, but you were talking about how many cuts in the video there was.
That was me.
Yeah, Mark Sargent.
I did that.
There,
I went through all the cuts and non-continuity. Yeah.
There's too many. On the more resources page on the app, there's a whole Artemis section because it's laughable. It's worse than the moon landing. Wait a minute, Jake. Do you think we went to the moon?
Of course.
You just because you haven't looked into it. That's all.
You gotta look into it.
I mean, I've heard. Who's the old guy that
in the crash course on my website? There's a NASA video in there. There's a NASA going nowhere since 1959 or what. Watch that, please. Watch a funny thing happen on the way to the moon. There's so much. You just haven't looked.
I did watch that. I did watch that documentary.
Yeah, look, I reckon my 5-year-old. Well, I don't have a 5-year-old. I got a 9-year-old. I reckon my 9-year-old could make a better lunar module than that piece of shite that looked like it was stuck together with bloody, curtain rods and duct tape.
The little rascals made it.
Yeah. Jake, someone in the comments, I don't know why they're asking, but someone was asking which part of the state you're from exactly.
Oh, Colorado.
So I think you said Colorado something or Colorado. I'm not an American, but
you don't have to tell us exactly where you are.
Well, shit. Give me a second. I don't really know this stuff.
At the end of the day, Jake, you can't go somewhere that doesn't exist, right?
Right.
Alright, so if I show you a photo of me in Hogwarts, that doesn't make Harry Potter real, because we know Hogwarts is on lots of fantasy that's made up. So when the government likewise shows you a video, live feed, a photo of them in Narnia, or a law violation, it doesn't mean you just believe it. Especially now that I've just showed you one example where they're actually purposely lying and faking the globe being real anyway. Which we haven't even gotten to the NASA stuff for that, but NASA's been caught so many times lying and faking stuff too.
Yeah.
So
the
much.
person asked Denver or Colorado Springs. I don't know why, man, but it's up to you to answer if you want to or not.
Just outside of Denver.
Yeah, Denver, not Colorado Springs. Isn't that in Florida? Colorado Springs. I think that's Florida, but maybe I'm wrong. Jake.
Yeah.
You realize the score is still at least 2-0. Do you have a globe proof for us?
I've watched. Who did a funny thing happened on the way to the moon?
Bart Sobral.
Yeah. I've watched. Professor Dave.
I watch Professor Dave is not proof of the globe. We want proof of the globe.
Right.
Professor Dave is a failed musician. He's not a professor, just so you know. But he uses the word professor to make people believe his little snarky comments are real. Like, oh my God, he's so snarky. I have to believe him. He's disgusting.
Okay, wait,
YouTube
Jake.
pushes him.
How did Professor Dave prove it was a globe? Because Simon Dan you brought up earlier didn't do a good job. So how did Professor Dave do it?
I mean, just on the topic of the moon landing, everything in the documentary is he kind of explained it a way that we did go to the moon.
So the government went. So wait, the government went to Narnia. The government went to a second law of thermodynamics violation. They did that, didn't they?
But how did Professor Dave prove the globe?
No, he just
Take the
went through
millennium.
and talked about
So we're not gish galloping to the moon now. What proof of the globe do you have?
photos of the globe.
Photos of the globe. Come on.
Come on, dude. Come on. You
we showed you
conceding.
that they're all photoshopped, that they're all... You're joking with that one, right? Please say you're joking, Jake.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got a photo of Hogwarts, Jake. Is Harry Potter real?
Wait a minute, hold on. Can you just do you have any like globe comparison videos? NASA shows us all these pictures and none of them match. No, the continent sizes are wrong. Everything is wrong.
Well, do you know why they're different sizes?
Well, no.
Surely
when you
you
make the ball the same size, when you zoom it to the same size, the continents are the wrong sizes, and then you'll just see like America on one side, and so that means that all the other continents are on the other side. Like, give me a break.
I mean, surely you know how they do that, right?
Simon, what was his first name? The CGI editor that put it together.
Come on, Jake. Yeah, Robert Simmons. Yeah.
Oh, when they take
Robert Simon. Is it Simmons or Simon? Yeah, Robert Simons. So Jake, he admits that they're constructs, right? That they stitch together a number of pictures, and they make the globe.
Right.
So the only one that they put forward the idea of actually being original or being a real picture is the 1972 marble. So can you explain to me the logic of the 72 one being real, and then the latest one up to the 20s being fake?
And on NASA's website, you can go to the blue marble images, and they have two of them from two different years, and the clouds are exactly the same on both images. How is that possible?
Come on, Jake. You got to do better than a
NASA's
photo.
website right now. Yeah, photos is the worst. I'll give you your best evidence, your best proof that the Earth is a globe. Jake, here's your best evidence. When someone says, "What's your best proof of the globe?" Because that's what I believe. That's your best proof.
Literally, that's your best evidence you have. You believe
that's the best evidence you have, because I believe in the globe religion.
Yeah, the government told me it was a globe, so it's a globe. That's my evidence. That's essentially what you're saying at this point.
Why would they lie to him, Angel? Why would everyone lie?
Oh no, I don't.
What difference does it make? I still have to go to work on Monday.
Honest.
About 0%.
I don't trust the government in all my heart.
You don't, or you do?
The government was on fire.
I do not.
Okay, so the government could lie then.
A lot,
of course.
Could NASA be lying?
T-shirt. I added a new T-shirt to my T-shirt thing from Gene Techman,
but I think,
and it says "Make politicians afraid again."
Yeah, nice. Jake,
sorry to interrupt.
I'll give you a bit of a quick rundown, right? So, in the 50s, they started MKULTRA. I'm not going to say it out loud in case I get flagged.
Oh yeah.
You'll definitely get flagged for that one.
Basically, so this is what I say to people. I say, yeah, I'm a conspiracy theorist, which means that I'm capable of autonomous critical thought. In other words, I'm smarter than other people that just go along with what's presented to them.
Yeah,
so,
Jake, think about it, right? Who's smarter? The one actually looking at both sides of the information and actually going out and proving it for themselves, or the one just believing the TV? Who's smarter?
So it wasn't until 72. Jake? Yeah, it wasn't until 72 that people could actually say, hey, listen, you bastards, this is happening. But you know what happened to those people for that 20-odd years? They were called crazy bastards, right? They were conspiracy theorists without a brain. And it ended up being true 20-odd years later. Have you heard of the Gulf of Tonkin incident, Jake?
Remind me.
Okay, so in the 60s, they said that the North Vietnamese fired upon a U.S. Navy vessel. So that was going to Vietnam, the Vietnam War, right? So it wasn't until about 10 years later that they said that was a red flag, that we fucking lied straight out. We absolutely fucking lied. Now, how many Americans died in that war, Jake?
Probably quite a handful.
58,200. 58,200.
It was a false flag. They started the war because they wanted to. Same thing after the September 10th, day after September 10th thing. They started all those wars based on false nonsense. And, the governments, to say that they lie sometimes is a lie. They lie all the time.
They fucking lie all the time. Yeah, that's the breathing to them is lying. So,
Careful with the G
did
word. I
anyone
said
get-
it. You said
Jake,
it.
did anyone get strung up for that? No, nobody's got strung up for that.
Nobody.
58,200 Americans are dead, and no one gave a fuck. I mean, it's disgusting, right? How about the Aussies? There were 541 Aussies. What about the Kiwis? All these people dead because some fucking piece of shit lied. I wouldn't piss on the government. I wouldn't piss on my government if I was on fire.
Jeff, easy on the G word and the D word. You're gonna get it live taken down.
Yeah, you gotta get.
Hey,
all right, I'm sorry.
Jake, I got a test question for you, Jake. What are you gonna watch on TV tonight?
I'm gonna go to flatearthdave.com and watch the crash course.
Nice, nice. Win. It's a win. Hey, Jake, I can't wait to see you back on this live in a couple days, and after you've watched some of those videos, to have a second discussion with you.
Yeah, come back. Make sure you
I'll take
follow
some
me.
notes, I'll make some questions, some observations, and
Yeah, exactly. Do that.
Yeah,
That'd be good.
I followed both of you.
Come back with some proof.
You know the man that apparently that people went to the moon, right? What was his name again? I've forgotten all of a sudden.
Armstrong?
No. The U.S. Nixon, right? So Nixon. Do you know what happened to Nixon after that, Jake? You ever heard of Watergate?
Yes.
Okay, so what was Watergate?
Oh no, wasn't it? I know they did they raid
establishing basically tapping phones of high-ranking people. So he should have gone to jail pretty much for life. And guess what actually happened to him? The next president pardoned him. That's how crappy your country is, man. And mine's not much better. Trust me.
All right.
All right, Jake. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Jake.
I appreciate you guys. Yep.
All right,
Have a
take
good day.
care.
Peace out.
See ya.
You know what's funny is normally I had a series of interviews with Jakes, and they were all the dumbest people on earth. Like there was like 3 Jakes in a row. So I'm really happy that Jake has restored my faith in the name Jake. Hey, Angel, you got to clip this entire thing from the time he comes on and until it goes on. Send it to me. Throw me a link. Let me make a video out of it. All right. Can you get me the whole file? You may have to upload it to YouTube and just send me the unlisted link because it's going to be a big file.
Yeah, I could do that. Maybe.
Can you do that?
Well, I could do that. Yeah.
All right, please do it. This was a great conversation, and it's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah. So he was. He was in the comments saying like your app proves globe, blah blah blah. And by the end of it, did the app prove a globe? Did anything he said prove a globe?
The most honest globe religion person I've spoken to. That was
Actually,
awesome.
yeah, that was
everything. That was very refreshing.
I was expecting usually when they attack your app and all that, Dave, they come up and they just start melting. But no, he was.
Well, you know, he attacked it because he watched Simon Dan. He watches Professor Dave, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and he doesn't think about it. But now we made him think. That was awesome.
Yeah, and
Right?
like I said,
Simon Dan and Professor Dave don't make you think. They make you listen to snarkiness and just react. We're
I
making
remember
you
that one
think.
that Professor Dave did where he was talking about like I think like Argentina, Australia, and somewhere else, and you're all able to see the same stars. At the same time.
yeah.
Oh, dude, the obvious answer to that is the last element, which is temporal. They're not seeing it at the same bloody time. You know, like what a lying.
I know he says that right, but people that don't know, like Dave said, they'll just believe it. Dude, have they heard of day and night? How can you see it from all 3 points if there's night and day?
Exactly. And he had to, like, if he had half a brain, he had to know that he was a lying prick for saying that.
Yeah, exactly.
Those guys will make comments. Those guys will make comments. No flat earther has ever addressed how the sun sets over the ocean. And then you'll hear someone come up and go, yeah, you guys will never address how the sun sets over the ocean. We're like, it's because they say it in a certain way. And then the people just take that as an underlying truth. They don't verify even the simple things, which are all just gaslighting and straw mans. Hey, I got to jump down, but please remember to download this. All right.
Okay, no worries, sir. Take care, man.
I'll talk to you soon. See you, Jeff.
See you, Dave. Would you kick me as well, please?
Okay. All right, Dave. I mean, Jeffrey. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming.
I got excited.
I cut him off. I always do that. Fuck. Anyway, Jay, what's up, man? Do you believe the Earth's a spinning globe? Jay? JT. Nope, he's not there. Oh well. You know what, guys? What time is it? It's not too late. You know, I might actually end the live, guys. And I might restart. Now, it's not 100% chance that I'll restart, but I might, depending how I feel later. But yeah, guys, it was actually it's an interesting live. I went 1 hour with 0 opposition, guys. That was crazy. I'm telling you, it's getting harder and harder and harder to find opposition because they're all coming up, getting flat smacked, and they never come back. What is that gift? What was that? Okay, that looked like a indoctrination cap. Anyway, alright guys, I appreciate everybody for being here. If you do actually want to support me, I do have a link in my bio for that. TikTok gifts, I mean, yeah, kind of boost the live, I guess, a little bit, but I don't get barely that money anyway. But if you do want to send a donation, you don't have to, but you can if you want, if you like my work. I mean, if I do this for many, many hours, almost every day, so I basically get nothing from it unless you want to donate. So appreciate everybody. I might restart and come back, but if not, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Appreciate everybody. Take care. See ya.